Woohoo! We're live. Awesome. Excellent. It's good to see that we're live today. I'm going to start copying the stream link to everybody so they know to come. Or if they can't come, they can check it out later. Either way, it's pretty cool with me. I'll just start from bottom to top. Yep, I could probably start here. Okay. Then after that, I'm just going to grab the games, the recordings that we were going to do. There's quite a few ones on survival I really wanted to do this week that we really didn't have time to do last week. Yeah. And if there's any other non-survival stuff too that we can do that looks really fun, I'll just pull those up as well and we can do them today. Yeah, it really depends on what you're looking for. Where else do we send these links to? Right here. Perfect. I got a phone call coming in, so I'm just going to turn the mic off. Spread out to everyone, and I just have to download some games and stick them in our folder, and we should be good to go. trying to go over all the selections we got. Quite a few, actually, you know. HVNI sends like millions and millions and millions of recordings all the time. So it's always like trying to climb Mount Everest, trying to find new stuff for us to do and look at, basically. But rest assured, we will find what we're looking for. We will 100%. Looking. Here we go. Here we think this one we wanted, right? Yeah, that one. And this one. These look like some good death matches. Death matches, those look good. Really anything I can find under the sun should be great. These might be good. These ones look pretty good lengths. Alright, I think we got enough material for now to work with. Just gotta wait for it to download. But anyways, how are you all doing today? Good. Hope you're gonna enjoy the games we're gonna do today. I see a bunch of spicy picks for us to look at. Hopefully we don't get any out of syncs. If we do, I will just pull in another recording, and another recording, and another recording, because we have so many recordings to look at, potentially. Yeah, that's a good thing about having a lot of recordings is you just never, ever run out of material. That's basically it. You know, you always have something to look at, and something to commentate on. I mean, I commentate so many, like, games. They should literally just call me the Unstoppable Peanut Gallery instead of the Unstoppable Steletsy. What do you think, though? Am I really the Peanut Gallery, or do I, teach you a thing or two about stuff? Yeah, let me know. Let me know if I'm the Peanut Gallery or not. It's good to know. I mean, there's nothing wrong with peanuts. You know, peanut butter is always good, but when you have a gallery full of peanut butter jars, I mean, I guess it gets a little obsessive. Yeah. So, cool, I still have that directory saved, so I can just plop and paste them right in. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, let me just cut out this browser. And we're ready to go. Alright, so let's go up and down through this directory here. Find what we're looking for. I'll sort by time, by tiempo, so we can find what we're looking for. So I'm just trying to look here. Did we do, well, I can actually check up on this from what we did last week. So we did we do this one? I'm trying to think, did we do this one? I don't know now if we did this one. I don't want to really do any ones over again if we already hit upon those ones. Alright. Let me see, is there any... I think we looked at this one, right? I think we looked at this one. Alright, I'm just making sure we cover all our bases pretty much. Because I might actually start down here, I think, first, and then try to see those at the end. Yeah, because yeah, these ones are 100% new down here. 3v3, Deathmatch, Thief, PO, Eli, G, Germany, Tom, Mexico. Yeah, this is a new one. So let's do this one. Alright. Before we get into real gameplay, I just want to check the map out. See how that's going to affect this game. Keep in mind this is a deathmatch, so yep, everybody gets a magical 20k of each resource to work with. Lots of building, lots of unit producing, lots of fighting and battling. Right, so it's pretty intense. Quite powerful, actually. So, from the looks of it, this is a pretty open map, except for these little pieces here. See these little plateaus? Yeah, you actually can wall this off pretty good around these cliffs over here. So if you do want to put in a couple of obstacles, maybe put some towers over here, you could do that potentially. It could be also a good defensive position for your buildings too, which thankfully also houses a trading post socket on them too, so that is pretty good. In terms of civs, we're looking at an Ottoman, a France, and a Dutch. Lots of good skirm options, I think. You know, the French Voltigeurs. You know, the Dutch skirms aren't too bad either. Abyss gunners. Yeah. And then on the opposing side, we're looking at a Germany, a Portuguese, and a Mexico. Mexico in deathmatch is always a kind of a wacky one because they end up doing a lot of early aggro with outlaws and insurgentes and stuff. So it's going to be pretty fun, I think. Especially with the Portuguese ally supplying them with res and a Germany doing Germany things. You know, Leah's Germany is not to be trifled with in either supremacy or deathmatch. Just don't do it. You will never win. Yeah. Alright, so here we go. Construct, construct, construct. Build, build, build. If you don't build quick enough, you're going to die. Number one thing to build, church. You need mercantilism. Gives you a nice handy 5 shipments right at the start of the game. Yep. Doom, 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 doom. 5 shipments. Ideally, yep. Get some unit production ones like riding school, fencing school, maybe engineering school. You can also get stonemasons, which is a great one because it helps you build faster. Get some combat stats or cavalry combat. Start queuing up some military. In general, cavalry is a great thing to start out with at your stables because, well, cavalry is fast, so it can be used pretty quickly to harass your opponents. And I guess to an extent, heavy horse guns is in that category as well, since they're the speedier of the cannons in terms of movement speed. Yeah. Right away, we're starting to see some warfare here. Look at all these banditos. Muchos banditos. These very powerful Mexican outlaws. Yeah, this tends to be the normal start for the Mexicans in DE. Just spam out a bunch of banditos and suatreros, which we're also starting to see coming up from the backside here. And basically just burn through all your dinero, right? I think the good thing for Mexico here is the fact that they have a Portuguese ally. And Portugal tends to have a surplus of resources. Not always. We've seen some cases where that wasn't happening, but most of the time I see Portuguese doing pretty well in the deathmatch sphere, as long as they're booming properly and getting enough TCs early on. Oh, they're going to mix in some salteadores as well, some of the vigilantes. That's pretty good. Will help you save some of your dinero by spending some of your comita. It's going to be a battle of the skirmishers, it looks like, with a couple of dragoons mixed in. And since this is France, you get another threat, the cuirassier. If you didn't think hussars were bad enough, just add a cavalry unit that has splash attack. Yeah, cuirassiers are one of those interesting, unique units in AoE 3. You know, they take everything that makes the hussars so menacing and makes it even worse. Even more unbearable, right? Sometimes you can beat a couple of hussars, but to beat a couple of cuirassiers does take some courage and some strength and great tactics, really. However, they will be, looks like Dutch are also going to be aided by the Ottomans, providing cav archers, providing abyss gunners. Abyss gunners are a pretty hard-hitting unit overall, but what I'm really curious about is if this Dutch over here can actually defend their front lines over here. Seems like they're all alone right now, making mortars, culverins, horse guns. What's going to happen if one of these loose cannons attacking you actually charges you with cav or something, right? Like, how you get basically going to deal with that? Like this, you know, the Prinz Chevelagers is a great example, you know. While it's not as heavy hitting as the War Wagon, it is more spammable, right? Since it is a standard-ish Dragoon unit in terms of stats, right? So yeah, definitely. It's going to be pretty interesting to see here if Frosty can manage this push all on his own with riders, skirms, and the artillery. Out of sync. Come on, man. Well, what do we pay you for? We pay you to get records that don't work? Really? Really? We're off to a great start today. An excellent start today. But that's alright, because I got 20 million other records to do, so I don't care. Do you care? I don't care. Doesn't bother me at all. We'll just move on to the next one. And the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Alright. So here we go. This time we got two Ottomans teaming up with the Lakota, and then we got a Portugal, a Russia, and a Portugal, a Russia, and a Germany. Yeah. Now this is going to be a pretty spicy one. You know, Ilya, while he's also good with Germany, he's excellent with the Lakota. Ilya just knows really well how to balance out that bison economy in late game, to the point the Lakota are actually coming with lots of resources. You know, they're not getting hungry, they're not starving. Ilya's Lakota are always teeming with resources. It's pretty spectacular, honestly, to see in real time. So in terms of geography of the map, we do have some rivers here, right? Which some of these portions you can't cross, but it looks like most of the portions you can cross, since these river fords are pretty lengthy, right? And it kind of follows a sort of Z-like shape too, so I don't think that the river is going to be too much of a factor here. I think what's probably going to be more of a factor is if people can take advantage of these little cliffs here on the side, you know, and start putting buildings up here, take advantage of the natural cliffs to make it hard to attack directly with infantry and cav, that sort of thing. So we'll see right now how this one turns out, right? So basically for the Lakota, the start is a little bit different, right? Since you don't have a church, you know, the Lakota just goes around the good old community plaza to do their religious stuff. They instead build a market and get the New Year festival, marked by that moon icon. And it does the same thing as mercantilism. It gives you about 5 shipments, and you mostly focus on a number of things. You can focus on production. Adoption is a pretty good one because it helps you get your villagers out very fast. Again, a shipment out of the Wakina rifles. 2 kettle support. 14 Wakina rifles, and increases their HP by 20%. Yeah, that's a good harassment force. Camp movements, that's a pretty interesting one, because it basically allows you to move your buildings right into Travois, sort of like some Mongol nomadic type feature. And then aggressive policy does let your war hut units, so your Wakina rifles, your bowmen, your war clubs, actually construct buildings themselves. They can build the corrals and they can build the war huts, making them pretty good at aggression. But what will be interesting to see is how do the Lakota do with 2 Ottoman allies making a lot of bombards, abyss gunners, cav archers, that sort of roster. Yeah, it should be pretty interesting, actually. Oh, picking up some of the Somali native warrior technologies. Good. Making some of the Somali Issa warriors, too. Not a bad idea. These will be pretty strong, I think. What do you think? You think it'll be pretty powerful? Yeah, I think so. Also, you can boost your villager production up even more with the fertility dance from the community plaza as a nice little side perk. Forward base overrun, lol. So somebody's getting overwhelmed. Look at all these recruits. All these unstoppable recruits. And where's the unstoppable Stelezzi's here? Look, he's even ignoring it. He's just running the infantry. Oh, he's shooting the community plaza villagers. Like, this is a shootout here. This is a really bold play by the Russians. Like, ignore the forward base. Just run your infantry in and send them in. Well, here's unstoppable Stelezzi. Not a lot of them, so they're not that very unstoppable now. I like this play though. It basically threw Lakota for a loop. Like, they weren't ready for it, and guess what that meant? All the allied Ottomans had to come down to save the Lakota here. So that basically gives everyone time back over here to start building walls, getting their structures going, start getting their economies going, right? If you can send them into a bit of a tailspin and get them distracted on that one spot, that means that you can start to expand everywhere else, right? Yeah, like, look at this. Portuguese are going to start building into that cliff-facing area that I was mentioning before, you know? If they can, you know, strike around here and come down here, that could be pretty powerful and confuse them quite a bit. You know, because that's a lot of map coverage to be responsible for, honestly. So if you can start popping all over the place with your attacks, that's really recommended, honestly. Truly is. Now, this is an interesting combination. We see guard war wagons with unstoppable Stelezzi himself, me. Yeah, so basically I'm providing the cover support against the cav archers, bit against the heavy infantry, and then you just use the war wagons to blast some of those Tajunki prowlers out, as well as some of the other units. And did you know, it was a bit of a trivia fact, that the war wagons actually deal multipliers against the rifle riders of the Lakota? Yeah, because apparently they're classed as heavy cavalry, right, because of their unique multipliers that not a lot of other ranged cavalry actually gets. And since we don't have something like, well, here's the thing. If the Definitive Edition developers wanted to, they could have actually given the rifle rider the light infantry tag, I believe, and it would have probably been more accurate, but I guess they went with heavy cavalry because that's the way it is in Legacy. That unfortunately means when you have dragoons, it means your dragoons actually do really well against the rifle riders. You know, war wagons especially can really dampen them pretty quickly. Yeah, so it's something you definitely have to keep in mind for sure. Seems like all the fighting is all converged into this little rectangular area, which I find kind of interesting. You got all this space up here, and maybe that's part of the stealth on Portuguese part. You know, they want to do the initial fighting over here, and then when it's time, they're going to start pulling soldiers up on this line here, start building out this way, and start attacking. Yeah. Lakota seems to be running a bit low on food. They are starting to get those hunting technologies, you know, from the home city. Again, the furrier, again, the team spice trade. Eventually, when it becomes valuable, they can get a great hunter as well to get a nice boost of food and improve that hunting rate even further. Are we going to start to see bison come in at some point too? Yeah, that'll probably have to start happening once the natural hunts in the area starts to subside a bit. Now, this is a pretty powerful combination. Get the nice great bombards from your Ottoman factories, which are technically free, right? And just protect them with a bunch of Abbas and cab archers. Also some Nizam Fusiliers, which is a nice, interesting touch. Also some Culverins too, so you're not completely vulnerable to enemy artillery. I guess sort of the good thing with having the Lakota on the field is the fact that they don't have artillery besides those captured mortars from the native embassy, right? So yeah, not as much threats honestly on that department. I want to see what like Portugal's doing and where their resource count is, because I feel like Portugal's gonna change this game up quite a bit. because they're actually starting to move the fight over onto the Pink Ottoman's base right now, and they're right at their gates too. So this could go pretty negatively if they're not careful, right? They also have a good amount of resources left, like 6k food, over 10k coin, good amount of wood. So Portugal can afford to wage war on this front for a while. And that's peeling away the onion a little bit of Lakota's defenses. One more Ottoman ally that they can have on their side helping them. Right? And now Pink Ottomans are going to try to reposition here and try to make some attacks. Castador is taking them off guard though, taking out some of the Abbas for free and going to wipe out some of these straggling Hussars, I imagine too. See, this is what I was talking about. When you have like a cliff like this, you essentially make it really hard for an enemy to counter these mortars. But it looks like what Pink Ottomans are actually going to do is they change the Nizam Fusiliers' stance to stagger stance. And they did that for a very particular reason. If you're not too used to the Nizam Fusilier and DE, basically every stance of the unit changes its multipliers and its armor values. So if you change the Nizam Fusilier to stagger mode, guess what? It gets multipliers against siege units and artillery, so it effectively deals about 72 damage per shot against these mortars. So if it wasn't for these Nizams, basically, these mortars would have pretty free reign of sieging here. And I think Portugal just realized that too. Yeah. He is getting some regular culverins as well, so I mean, I think Pink Ottoman for now is doing a pretty good defense here, forcing the Teal Portuguese back. You could try to potentially start sieging at this wall a little bit, since there isn't any real artillery here that could threaten them. What's going on here? Whoa, 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 watch your units, watch your units. Again, completely sliced and diced by Hussar sabers. Wow. That is a nasty loss right there. And where's his resource count at? It's like, yeah, I mean, he's got resources, but still, you really shouldn't be taking losses like that. It could really hurt you pretty badly, you know? Resources don't grow on trees, unless you're gathering wood, that is, right? Wood grows on trees, but, because wood is a tree. But, coin, food, yeah, you gotta gather that from the mills, from the estates, from the factories, and you're not always going to be able to get that up front if you burn through it too quickly. So yeah, I feel like taking a big loss of an expensive unit like the Abbas Gunner is in coin. Definitely a bit of a blow to the Pink Ottomans, you know? And if we look back at Portuguese here, yeah, they got a lot of resources to play around with, so they can afford to take fights right now. Blue DN to help Pink. Yeah, somebody needs to help Pink here. Because now the Russians are also pulling in from this side. They've blasted the walls dead open now, and they're going to start driving in now. They got mortars, they got recruits, they got super unstoppable Strelitzes right now. All of that. They're even starting to get their forts down on the front lines. If this fort goes up, which it looks like it's probably going to, I don't see any counter-artillery here to start shelling at it. That's going to be a really deadly spawn point that Russia's going to be able to really exploit here, you know. The one thing I guess that's good is Russia has sort of burned through their food a bit, it looks like. They have gotten all their techs, though. They've gotten the sustainable agriculture, the reef ridge, the eco-theory. It's just a matter of time to wait for all those settlers to train out and assign on to the mills, right? Yeah, they're a bit strapped on food, and that might be to the Pink Ottoman's advantage, so the pressure isn't too tight on both fronts. Yeah. However, if they can keep these mortars safe and they can push them back a little bit towards the town centers, that's probably big enough of a gain to actually, you know, really push the lines against Alia's team, honestly. Big time. Oh, bombard. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. They took that out with the Kulvis. Good shot by Russia, taking out that bombard, which could have really threatened things. Yeah. So it could have totally threatened things. What about this Germany, or what's the Germany doing? So Germany's still engaging with Lakota, it looks like. think at this point Aaliyah knows, hey, I can't do rifle riders anymore. Just a really bad idea because of, you know, Prussian needle gunners, war wagons. Just a really bad idea to try to push onto these things with rifle riders. So doing the bow rider and Wakina rifle combo, which we see here, is probably the way to go, right? And then if you're running low on your coin, you can obviously go for the budgety trash unit option, the Seatam Bowman too, which we see him doing. Yeah, I mean, they're hanging in there. I mean, they got enough food. If they can keep this army about this size for a while, they should be fine. But if they start losing stuff really quick, that's going to pose another problem. Yeah. Alright, so now we get to the rainbow phase. Russia starts spawning out all their Prishniks. It starts going deep into the enemy line. Yep, GG. Frosty just called it. Once you see the Oprishniks coming towards your factories and your town centers, it's time to get out, dodge, and resign. I mean, you can't deal with this. This is actually impossible. You might be able to survive like a Hussar raid on your factories, but the Oprishniks, they got the siege to blast those things. They got 99 siege, plus the multiplier here. That's unbearable. It's unbearable. Now that the pink almonds have resigned out, now the yellow almonds are going to see their factories start to get burned up, right? And then they can actually start to move down here and disrupt the community plaza too. That both kills Lakota's economy and it prevents him from taking advantage of the community plaza. This is like a really... Oh, the bison hunters are here too. This is like really... Oh, he's just going to burn down the community plaza because you know what that does? It makes it hard for Aaliyah to get it going again because you lose all these vills and you have to micromanage, like put your finger on the button to make another community plaza. It's not as easy as just right-clicking a bunch of vills back on. Now you actually have to rebuild it too. This is looking like it's over at this point for this team. Hands down, you know. I like how Russia basically really entrenched themselves here with 3 forts. A really good fortified position that even if the enemy was making mortars, they'd still have to deal with 3 forts basically. So that's a really good way to ensure that you can keep pushing, pressuring, all of that. Russia doesn't have to worry as much now and they could probably start to focus a bit on eco. You know, they still don't have their Royal Mint or their textile mill. I totally suggest they get that now. You know, they really could use a bit of coin economy here while your allies are doing most of the brutal fighting. Yeah. And what's Portugal doing here? Portugal probably should try to, you know, come through here and attack on this side, I think. And I think it's going to be over at that point. That's what I would do if it was me. But technically Portugal doesn't have to do anything. I mean, they can conceivably sit there, I don't know, have a coffee, watch an Unstoppable Streletsy live stream, and just wait for your allies to win for you, I guess. I mean, it's not the nicest thing to do to your allies, but it's so skewed against Aaliyah and the remaining Ottoman that it's just really looking bad for him right now. Like, I don't see any comeback from any of this, honestly. Yep, Aaliyah did get his community plaza working again. Nobody's quicker than Aaliyah. Aaliyah's the quickest thing on Earth. And now we got Cossacks ripping into lines of the Humbaraces. Yep, Humbaraces and Abbas. That's just not going to survive Cossacks very well, especially when you have Unstoppable Streletsy shooting unstoppable bullets into their heavy infantry tags. Yeah. Also, hey, cancel this. Hey. You know, this is the unfortunate thing with the block training system of the Russians is, and it out-synced, doesn't really matter, we already knew how that was going to go, but, that's one of the annoying things with the Russians is because the math doesn't add up in such a way that, you know, you reach the villager build limit and the game won't actually let you train that block of villagers, you know, because essentially you are missing population or limit points for those villages, so it just stalls out like that. It's pretty messed up, honestly. Yeah. I think with there's actually no way to fix it because, everybody loses villagers during the game, so if we did, say, set the villager limit to 101, 102, then if somebody loses some vills and the map changes, then it's going to happen anyway, so it's just an unfortunate, frustrating thing to deal with the Russians. Yeah, unfortunately. Very unfortunately. So, that was a fun game. But now we can try another one. We got 3v3 rank supremacy here. From Akis, Aaliyah, Random versus some other people. Yep, let's try it. Let's see how it goes. Hey. Hey, Panda. How you doing, Panda guy? Compagniable. Hey. Hey. So, who do we got this time? We got Aaliyah doing the British. Another strong Aaliyah Civ. Due to strong mercenary play and dragoon play. Allied with the Dutch. Allied with the France. And they are going to be fighting against more Germany, that is. More pretzels, more bratwurst. All of that. Spain, Frodowski, Spain, and Tedskapil Evet ornaments. We're looking at Mongolia here, the nice open Mongolian steppes, place where Genghis Khan comes from. And if you play your cards right and you play really well, you can be Genghis Khan 2 on this map and ravage the entire place. Yeah. Overall, the cool part of this map is always the little trade route up here at the top of the map, right? It's certainly good to capture if you can. You also have some native sites as well. You got the Shaolin, and then you got the Tengri sites as well, which is unique to Definitive Edition. Yeah, so let's get started right now and see how this one turns out. Yeah. So, in general, whenever you see a British in a Supremacy game, I think they already have a bit of an advantage jumping in, right? Because they can get a lot of vills very easily with their Manor Booming technique, right? Now, it's not a guaranteed advantage because the other day I was playing with Stefan Mitrovic, and if you overcommit villagers on the manors, you can actually get 2v1 and get sandwiched, and it's really not a good experience, so just make sure when you're doing the Manor Boom with the vills, you do it within a measured response, right? And you keep a level of hussars and musketeers, maybe grenadiers and longbows on the side to deal with the potential military threat, right? So Aaliyah's going to do pike and shot, basically. Archers and pikemen. That's very interesting. So pikemen with longbows. A very trash unit centered composition, right? No money involved, just food and wood. Net. So looks like the France is going to go natives. France gets a lot of good native upgrade cards, so that's definitely a good option, especially with some of the strong native options on this map, right? The Shaolin Rattan shields are basically hand cav, and then the Tengri cav archers, were cav archers, so it's like goon and hussar, basically. Or more or less so like dragoon and coyote runner, basically, because, the Shaolin Rattan shields don't ride horses. Instead of horses galloping, their little Chinese feet gallop across these steppes to attack enemies. I Shaolin. Okay. And I'm assuming this is a native center deck, right? Yep. The team native combat. You got the native warrior combat here. Wilderness warfare. You can use Ancien Regime to get some of the French House of Bourbon natives. Even France's Royal Fencing School. It wasn't good enough to just have fencing school, but Royal Fencing School gives you 3 Royal Musketeers. So yeah, France is very native-centric. They even got native warriors to benefit native warriors, and even the Huron Infinite shipment in Age 4. I like that shipment, you know. I like mantlets personally. Whenever I play Arena and Legacy, people are like, why are you getting mantlets? I'm like, I like mantlets. They got a lot of HP, they got a lot of armor. People are going like Dragoon, Musketeer. Mantlets can be a really obnoxious thing for them to deal with, right? It's not until they build like the heavy-hitting cav and artillery that you really have to worry about the mantlets. So, you know, most of the time mantlets, they prove their worth in terms of combat. Quartermaster, pretty normal, pretty normie. What's the Germany doing? So the Germany is looking to do... Whoa. Germany, you're missing cards. You're missing 5 cards in your deck. I know you want to prove how good of a player you are, but you don't have to go that far. I mean, come on, man. You could have had some unit shipments like Ulans, Doppels, maybe some native, you know, stuff. Could have had some stuff here. I just don't understand 100% why you're missing 5 cards in your deck when you're going into like a ranked game. Ranked. If you lose, you get punished. You get spanked by basically losing ELO points, which is pretty harsh of a spanking in my opinion, is losing ELO points. So why would you do that? This Brit deck. What is this Brit deck? I'm curious. Oh, it's the Alea British deck that has lots of animals, lots of herdable stuff. You know, wolf, staple ports, ranching, stockyards, foaling mills. If you haven't figured it out yet, Alea loves herdables and he loves huntables. He loves eating meat. Alea is not a vegan. It's not enough for him to eat grass and tomatoes and lettuce and, you know, tofu. Tofu teriyaki and stuff. He eats hearty meat, cows, bison, sheep in all of his games. And what happens is it turns out to be a really good, quick source of food gathering compared to mills and even berries sometimes, right? So if you can manage the herdables during your game, that's a really good advantage for any civ that you're part of. But in particular British, they get a lot of cards related to the herdables, so they get a bit of a distinct advantage doing that. In particular, you get the foaling mills here. It actually allows your villagers to gather 300% faster. It triples the gather rate from the herdables. And it's in fact the same card that inspired the card Butchers for the Argentines in Wars of Liberty. It's the same effect. Triples your herdable gather rate. So, for those wondering a bit of the history of the Argentine Civ in Wars of Liberty and the LATAM rework, that idea didn't come out of nowhere, you know. Normally when somebody thinks, oh my god, you're giving them 300% better gather rate on something, is that like a cheat or something? No, it's from Legacy. It's from Legacy. Play the British, play herdables, you'll see it's like a real legit thing. It's a real thing. It's not make-believe, not hallucinating. So this is interesting. Ottomans building a foundry and protruding a large wall. This is like an Age of Empires 2 style wall. On top of walls, they're working their buildings into the wall structure itself. Okay. Interestingly enough, an unupgraded wall has the same hit points as a mosque. Really interesting. And the foundry has even more hit points than the walls do. I find that pretty fascinating, honestly. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Yeah. So, just for clarity, do these... Yeah, so these are light infantry. Alright, so they are tagged like that. Okay. So yeah, unfortunately, you really don't want to send these Shaolin Rattan shields against pikemen, the Spanish pikes in particular, because guess what pikemen do? They have multipliers against shock infantry, which is sort of like the hand cavalry variant tag these, like, foot units get, basically, when they run fast and stuff. Oh, Armans are doing Abyss, Germany's doing Crossbowmen. Here comes the doggos. We got Tabata, we got Fiesta, we got Dorado, and we got Loco. Un perro muy loco. See. Yep, very loco. In a good way. You want a perro that's very loco when they're going after the enemy, right? Very vicious animal, for sure. Just defend, I'm aging. Oh, so it looks like Dutch are also doing a livestock pen as well, because they're able to round up a bunch of yaks from around the Mongolia map. Yeah. Sometimes when you can get a bunch of herdables on the map, like yaks or cows or sheep or oinkers or goats or whatever, it doesn't hurt to get a livestock pen to take full advantage of that, because those herdables, even without fulling mills or something like that, are going to gather really well. Whoa, 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 what's going on? What's going on? Where's the army here? What are these guys doing? What are they doing? You don't leave British unprotected like that. What are you gonna... Oh, what's your... I don't know. Now, those dogs are very ferocious. They can actually threaten your infantry units, so you gotta be really careful about them. Push? Question mark? Aaliyah, like, hello? Where are you? You're my allies. It's a ranked game. Do you want to lose points? Do you want to give up this easily, man? Help me. Help me. I'm trying to send an SOS signal. Call, What do you mean call, It was already both. What does that mean? Yeah. Yep. This is the trick, though. You're the British, so if you're running low on bills, just build some houses and you should be... Good job. For now. For now, man. But what? Send bills to me. Getting a bit of protection now from the Red Lancers, Royal Decree of the Dutch. It's a neat little royal decree that the Dutch get. It basically sends some Stradiots and gives them a slight multiplier against skirms, like the Sawar, basically. You know, so it makes the Stradiots even more stradiatedly, you know, when it comes to fighting skirms and stuff. So yeah, I think these units are going to have a lot of value now, and they're going to be pretty hard hitting. Yep, no, totally protected. You're protected. Oh, but this isn't good. Don't want to let those Abyss gunners... Yeah, these Abyss aren't going to survive that, so they have to be kind of careful with that. Yep, got TC there to protect yourself. It is disrupting them a little bit here, so that's good. They definitely need every little nook and cranny advantage they can get. Oh, it looks like Aaliyah's going for a treasure. The possible remnants of the Fabled Valley, Shangri-La. 300 XP. That is pretty good. That's pretty strong, I think. Definitely is. Okay, Boomer. What are you doing? Conquistadores. Yep. From that shipment. You know, the shipment. The, what's it called? I haven't seen its name in a while. It's called the... This one. Reconquista. Basically, ships one conch for every 3 archaic infantry units you have lost. So, if you spam a bunch of pikes and crossbowmen at the start of the game, and I believe the Rodelros as well, right? Basically, you can get a bunch of conquistadors from that shipment. And the great thing about the conchs is, number one, they're a native unit, so they don't cost any pop against you, basically. And they have a bit of splashes of Dragoon as well, so they can be pretty impactful damage-wise, alongside your regular stuff. The Dutch have gone to Industrial Age. This is really good for the Aaliyah team. In Industrial Age, Dutch can do a lot of powerful stuffs. You know, they can get their factories out first, and then they'll be able to get the heavy cans. You know, the heavy cannons are going to be pretty impactful, I think. Just running longbowmen in without looking. They're going to get shot by the towers a bit there. They're trying to break a bit of chew up this wall a bit here, I can see for sure. So that's something they definitely have to do. So what are they making here? These are the Royal Musketeers from France, as well as the Longbowmen, the Tally-Ho archers. Oh, that's nice. Has any... Oh yeah, what are people's opinions on the British voice improvement mod that Iron Kaiser came out with a number of days ago? Do people like the traditional commandment British voice sets, or do they like the new ones that are going to be in that modification? Yeah, I definitely like the way that those new voices sound for the British, you know. They sound a lot more accurate and a lot more Britishy, you know. A lot more Britishy, for sure. It's good that Iron Kaiser managed to do that, because we saw the same sort of thing happen on the Wars of Liberty side, you know. The old Shakespearean style British had to be removed because, well, we were talking like 20th century British in World War I. They're not going to talk like that, right? And sure enough, they found a bunch of voice files and voice actors willing to work on setting up new voice sets for the Wars of Liberty, so it's great that we see the same thing on the DE side as well. Really nice. Ooh, Blue Guards. That's... did he cancel them? Yeah, that's another powerful Royal Decree option, because it essentially gives you a big attachment of the Blue Guard which are just musketeers, and they even get a shipment from the homestead too that can let you train the Blue Guards from forts. Yeah, the great thing about the Blue Guards is that they're musketeers, so you don't actually have to upgrade, right? They sort of shadow tech with each age, so it's just one more unit you normally don't have access to, right, that you can add alongside your normal roster to fight with. You all keep them busy done there. Who has Cav Cannon? This is a... Alright. I'm just a little bit worried about this frontal TC here because I feel like it could be sniped potentially. But, yeah. Need Cav Cannon for Abbas Yulan. Attacking on the side here with Blue Guard and Heavy Cannon. And some of the Reiters being combated by Kongs, Landwehr, and the Ulans. Right. Yeah. So far, so good in terms of defending the last remaining heavy cannon. If the heavy cannon will actually try to shoot at something now. It almost feels... somebody... Ottomans resigned, Spanish resigned, and ideally Germans resigned. Yeah, so everybody resigned. There we have it. A good Aliyah success. Right? So in terms of post-game stuffs, Dutch was the king of the show in terms of resource output, which makes a lot of sense. You know, Dutch have a really good economy with their banks. You know, that basically gives them a lot of resources to throw around, you know? Like, look at all the... Only 840 coin from British because they went all in with the pikes and longbows. Quite a big difference from Dutch with over 10k of the coin. Big difference. In terms of military, it seems like overall Dutch got the most kills in just because they were able to get some really efficient units there. Yeah, overall I would say for sure. And the other team didn't get a lot of kills. I think their biggest strength was just pressuring the British early in that game, but once the Allies came around to save them, they ended up not being able to keep up with that type of strength and attack, basically, and they faltered. Simple as that. Simple as that. Ooh, so yeah, that was a pretty good game. We've got another one cooking right now. I'm gonna pull that one up. I think it's this one, right? What's this one? Ha ha ha. British, Ottoman, Germany. So is that 3 Hods or 3 Houses? Is HA mean Hausa or does it mean Hods? Because I suppose it could mean either one in terms of the record file name. Ooh, 3 Hods. 3 Hods. Wow. This is a supremacy, right? Yeah. 3 Anahota Nicatequis. Wow. Keliwentos. This should be a pretty good one, I think this is going to be really tough for Aaliyah's team because Hods are one of the easiest aggro civs in the Age of Empires 3 game, I think, right? They get a really solid attack at the start of the match. They can come right out of the gate with the forward war huts, spamming tomahawks, Ayana bowmen, and then they got the shipments of the Kanya horsemen. If these 3 Hods bash their heads together and come up with a decent plan, they might be able to snipe one of these enemies of theirs pretty quickly. And looking at the map over here, our map is overall pretty wide open, I would say, right? No water, this is all ice. The only thing about ice is, right, you can't construct on it, but you can walk on it, right? And I'm very surprised in all my years of Age of Empires 3, we've never seen a soldier actually slip and fall on the ice before, It's like they wear steel cleats when they stomp over the ice or something. Or they're really good ice skaters, I didn't know in the 16th, 17th, 18th century they were really good at ice skating back then, so it's a skill we never knew about these units. Anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing what 3 Hods can do, and we can get started. Age 2, fast age. So, I think in this situation, Aaliyah's going to probably try to get a pretty quick defense going. A lot of tower defense. Yeah, exactly. That's a good way to do this. If all 3, the British, the Ottomans, and the Germans can get a good sort of setup with outposts, walls, turtle really well, that can be really painful and annoying for the Hods. Okay, and then Ottomans are going to do Abbas Gunners. Fair enough. Great against the Enna Bowmen, and great against the Tomahawks as well. I'm going to be watching these Hods pretty closely, because I think they're probably going to have to come up with a pretty good aggressive strategy here if they're going to beat Team Aaliyah. We got a fast age up. Yes, yes, and yes. Abbas or what? Yeah, just do it, man. Just do Abbas. You don't need Aaliyah's permission. I mean, he is a living god of Age of Empires 3, but, do what you think is going to work. Abbas, ideally, is going to be great against the things that the Hods are going to be throwing at you from the war hut, so, yeah. The reason why Aaliyah's telling them to age up quickly is because Hods have some really violent, aggressive strategies that can devour players who don't age up fast. Okay, so it looks like Germany's going to do Yuan, perhaps. Alright. I'm going to be looking at these Hod decks right now, too, once they start getting their shipments. I think that's going to be really important to see what we're dealing with here on the for these British team here. Like, how are they going to deal with all these Hods? So, looking at some deckies here. I'm waiting for the first one to send something. Shipping some bills or something, right? Yep, it sometimes takes a while before the players actually get their first card going. I'm just going to sit here and wait for it. Or maybe we can check out everybody else's first. Right now they seem to be just focused on their age up time so they can get the scout politician. See, what the scout does for the Hods and the other Native American civs is basically it's like a fast age up, you know, like an exiled prince, but you can get it in any age, right? So is that what we're getting here, the scout or the messenger, right? I thought it was the scout, it's the messenger. Same concept though, same concept. The messenger gives you a fast age up. And looking at everybody else, messenger, nope, this is British. They don't have messengers. They have philosopher princes and princesses and stuff like that. Messenger for the other one. What's really surprising for me is nobody's... Well, he's grabbed a shipment. Do any of these guys got Town Destroyer? Yeah, this one's got Town Destroyer. This is the reason why you need to age up quickly as any player who's fighting the Hods. Town Destroyer gives your War Chief 1.4k siege improvement. At the end of it, your war chief has a siege of like 260, 270. And if you're not careful, they could burn your town center in age 2. Just with the war chief alone. And if you got 3 players playing the Hods, they're probably doing this. I wouldn't put it past them. They've got Town Destroyer. See, I want to have Town Destroyer. Yep, one's already... Another one's starting to ship Town Destroyer now. This is looking very bleak if these players are not careful, right? Where are their war chiefs right now? I want to see. So this one's positioned closer to the British, right? Where are the other Hod explorers? So the other one is this one. We know about him. Another one's over by the war huts, which are starting to put the tomahawks out. That's another threat you have to worry about. The other one's right by the other war chief. So they're ready to go open up. They're going to go for this town center right now, right here. I promise you, they're going to go after this. Once they get enough units. Yep. Did this one get the Town Destroyer yet? This one? Did he? That one did not. So, yep, this one is starting to pick that up now, I believe. Just scouting around, I think. Yeah, this isn't going to be enough. I mean, the Kanya Horsemen are just going to start to, Yep, it's about time. They need to start getting their heads together real quick or they're going to drop. Ooh, yep, look at how quick these houses go down. And now you just got a couple of bare longbowmen here. It's already over. It's already over right now. It's already over. They have not... Alea's deploying effectively, but Ottomans don't have anything. It's over. They're dead. They're actually dead right now. 2 Hod Explorers, 3 Hod Explorers, up, one's down, but the other 2, they're gonna start going after this town right now. Yep, look at how quick the hit points drop from Town Destroyer. Plus, they're right on top of your TC, so you can't grab this wood. This town center is dead. Town center is dead. And it's hard, so they have enough unit shipments from the home city to keep the fight going, even without unit training, mind you. They got this one, for instance, is doing a lot of hunting, so they're going to be able to keep performing streams of Vienna Bowman here to keep pressuring hard. I'm surprised he's not, I'm surprised he's not using this war chief to keep battering the TC myself. I'm sure they'll get it down, though. At this point, it's pretty probable. It's kind of impossible not to get that TC down at this point. You know, the Tomahawk's just going to be enough to take out crossbowmen. Oh, here comes the Abbas, though. The Abbas are jumping in. But not paying attention to your explorers, man. You gotta keep sieging this TC if you're gonna use Town Destroyer. If they throw this because they're not watching what their war chiefs are doing, that's just really sad. Really sad. Because they could have gotten a lot more torches into this town center and they just were fighting units with it. Like, that's why you gotta watch your stuff. Now I think Aaliyah's team wins. Aaliyah's team wins this now. They're not micromanaging anything. This one's moving archers in without protection. It's gonna get complete. Yep, just archers. It's over. Leah's team has turned a really bad situation into a win. Within a matter of seconds. A matter of seconds. U1's beats and yep, they're all gonna resign. I thought this was gonna be a clean sweep of Team Aaliyah, but because these players did not look after their war chiefs and make sure they were doing the siege work, right? They were busy shooting stuff. They cost their own game. I'm not saying they would have won by taking out the Ottoman TC, but then they would have had to scramble like scrambled eggs to get another TC up, and that would have made an impact. But now that all three of their town centers have survived, that sort of high aggro chain of the Hods falls apart very quickly. It does. So good job from Team Aaliyah in protecting that. That was a really good show of how you deal with Town Destroyer. Really good show of force right there. Yeah, this is the problem with Hods. Like, if it isn't for Town Destroyer and their good early aggression with the way their home city is set up, they don't get a lot of early resources. Like, you see here, their resource output is just really dismal compared to the Europeans. The British, the Germans, Ottomans, they just do far better. Far better. And like, yeah, here's the thing. They had 3 town destroyers, and they only managed to raise one building, one house. That was really bad execution. Yeah. I think they could have wiped out TC, they could have wiped out a couple of other things, but they didn't. And it cost them the match. Big time. Oh, nice. Leah's talking to me right now in Steam. He says he's got a good game for us to do. I'll tell him to send the recording right now so we can do that one right away. Send rec and disc. If I just told him to send the recording in Discord. Yeah. We'll do that one before we keep moving up the track with all these other recordings I just added. So yeah, this should be pretty nice, you know. Really nice. Oh, Bruno Oscanio, nice. Yep, the stream is very nice. You know, and I got a lot of nice games to show you today too, so definitely stay tuned for that. Yeah, I don't see his game yet, so maybe we'll do another one while we wait for him. Seems pretty fair, I think. This one. This one looks good. So it's Deathmatch Inca versus China. Yeah, that looks okay. Nah, I don't need my folder open. I just need to get in. Nah, to wheel GG. GG, well played. So it's going to be an Inca versus China in Deathmatch 1v1. Very, very interesting, you know. Inca's got some interesting tools for the deathmatch world, I believe. You know, they got the Huerica slingers or Bolas or whatever they throw. The Bolas warriors are good. Chima runners are great at just ripping things down. And on the Chinese side with Aaliyah just really knows how to mass up some pretty big banner armies and spam out lots of flying crows and various other Chinese siege weapons like the flamethrowers and the handmores. Yeah. Leo said he's going to work on getting me that recording right now in Discord. Instant Mamelukes? Instant Mamelukes. Nearly causes game to crash. Yeah, we definitely need to check this out. So while we wait for that, we're going to finish up this deathmatch here. And see just how good China really is in a deathmatch environment. The one sort of sad part of the Chinese, though, is unfortunately they don't get access to any tech like mercantilism, so they do have to wait a teeny weeny bit to get any shipments from the home city. But what the Chinese do get is a lot of export. And basically with that export, what you can do is you can start to send out consulate armies from the consulate right away. So it looks like they're... Who are they allied with right now? So they're allied with the... Is that the Germans, right? So they're allied with Germany. And they're going to be able to get some heavy cannons out right away. Yep. Heavy cannon and the skirms, right? The Prussian Neil Gunners. Prussian Neil Gunners. Yep. Prussian Neil Gunners with heavy cannons. They're also going to start producing some flamethrowers. They're ideally going to want to get some war academies up and start getting some of those units. What's Inca doing, though? What's Inca going to do here? So they're going to go Huarica, Bolus Warrior, and Jungle Bowman. Getting couriers right now is a production-related card. Yeah, I mean, looking pretty good for an Inca deck. I've never done Inca in Deathmatch before, so should be interesting to see. We saw this card being used a lot in the survival map last week because it allows your conscious to trickle the wood. No rush? Yes, no. So Leah's actually pretty surprised that his Inca opponent hasn't actually pressured him super hard right now. He's playing it nice and mellow and slow, which in Deathmatch you probably shouldn't do. You know, you really need to attack people really quickly in Deathmatch because if you don't do it, yeah, it's not a good chance that you're going to make it because it gives your enemy more time to build, to get technologies that they need. So they're going to cream you when they're ready, right? They're going to cream you with the perfect comp, maybe a lot of natives, and they're just going to have a big base build out, so you're not going to be able to really maneuver and flank as needed, right? So right now we see the front line of Jungle Bowman completely getting scorched and stopped by the flamethrowers. Doing a bit of good micro work there, though, to try to target some of the flamethrowers. Look at all that fire! Look at that glowing orange fire. It burns just to watch it. I like flamethrowers, you know. Flamethrowers are a pretty cool unit. You know, even though you'd think that they're actually artillery, they actually aren't artillery. They're actually infantry with the siege trooper tag. So they're actually more closely related to grenadiers than actual falconets in terms of tag logic. So that means if you have like a culverin, right, it's probably not going to be great to use it against these usually, right? Yeah. That's something that I found out pretty quickly in Arena is if you spam a bunch of flamethrowers and they go coals, you know, they sit there like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do, man? It's not doing anything. I mean, they deal some crush damage, mind you, but not enough to completely disassemble the flamethrowers, though. Pretty good pushing force here. Heavy cannons with the flamethrowers taking the front. They not moving. They're too scared to move. They're petrified. They're petrified of the big orange fires that you're starting. Lag. Stop downloading things during your ranked games, please. It's the only explanation. I mean, I know you want to download some of my games from the YouTube onto your computer, but just wait till after you do your ranked games to do that. Otherwise, this happens. You lag out. Oh wow, that Shaolin monk's doing really good there. I saw the creation of some disciples, so that's a good little boost to your army size. And then some natives as well, some of the Apaches. I'm surprised there's no targeting of these heavy cannons though. No, these Huaracas should definitely be targeting the heavy cannons. That's kind of their purpose, mind you. If you're not going to target the heavy cannons, it's just slowly going to snowball into an unstoppable push. I think he maybe realizes that now, sort of. Yeah, now he's doing it, but is it going to be enough? No, it's not, because now you even got the Chengdao on top of you, so it's just not going to work. It's not going to do anything. Just very, very unfortunate. Scaring off some of those Comancheros, right? Yep. Heavy cans still posing an issue, blasting through the war HUD, and they're going to go right for the TC now. Big game. If you like Mamluks or Ronin, you are in for a treat. He even sent me some screenshots of it in the Steam as well, so I'm definitely looking forward to doing that one next. Hopefully it'll be there when we see the end of this match very soon. Adding in the Flying Crows now, that's always the signature move by Aaliyah. You know, the Flying Crows, the cool thing about them is they get an infinite shipment of 2 from the Chinese home city, so you can just keep rolling them in, and then you can keep rolling in the heavy cans too from the consulate. You got flamethrowers, you got hammers. China has some really good siege. Your farm, it's in the way. Yeah, I burned down that huge cornfield and turned it into popcorn. Yeah. It is lagging quite a bit in there, isn't it? Yeah. Looked like they were sitting there for a little while. Lag big one. Yes, it is lagging. Stop downloading stuff. Another good Chinese push from Aaliyah, it looks like. Yee. You see, he acknowledged it. He knows it's quite laggy, to be honest. Yeah, it is laggy. Maybe John Coffey should dump some coffee onto his computer so it runs a bit quicker and with a bit more vibrance and energy, right? Nah, don't do that. Don't put coffee in your processor. It's not going to go very well. Those jungle bowmen are going to get stung. And it's kind of funny because the jungle bowmen should be the ones stinging you because they got the venomous arrows with poison on them. You'd think that they would be the ones stinging you, but no, it's getting stung by the Chinese rockets and fireballs and Trembing Trufa Hauda, Chengdao swords and stuff. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, the thing you should do when it lags is you actually should stop making melee units and just go with range. The longer the range on the unit in lag, the better it tends to do, I find. Yeah. Because I come from a place in Wars of Liberty where you got lots of lagging Juanitos Bonitos, right? And they lag all the time. So you see, like in a laggy situation, what sort of units can do okay and which ones really don't do okay. Very quickly. GG. Good attempt, though. Good attempt. Had more resources because of all that Concha House food. And what about combat? Yeah, see the difference. Like, double the kills just due to the Chinese usage of heavy cannon and flying crow. It's pretty intense, honestly. It's pretty surprising because China's supposed to be like the trash unit spam civ, and they actually had less military than Inca was popping out. Yeah. While still having that much. Wow. Wouldn't expect that. Wouldn't expect that at all. So I'm going to look for that game right now. Big game. 4v4 ranked Russia, British, LA, Dutch versus Dutch, Russia, US. Mamluks and Ronins. I'm looking forward to this one. Downloading it right now and we're going to look at this thing. Oh, Proxware, there's a festive mod. In the festive mod, the one I did with the Trump, there's also a map with spires and webs on it. Somber, really enjoyed the stream. Was super entertaining. I'm definitely tuning in more often. But I've got to go now since it's already 1 a.m. for me. Keep it up. Yeah, the stream's going to keep going on, Somber. So if you want, when you finish your sleeping and your breakfast eating and stuff, you can actually wake up to watch the rest of this stream tomorrow, too. Because we've got even more games to do. And here's Aaliyah himself. Hey, in game right now, just finished an amazing game. These Inca games versus China were starting strong for Inca. Did you finish all those Inca versus China games? I'm just checking if the game goes out of sync. The game doesn't work. The spiders in my mod are really strong. Are they based on the spiders from the Jurassic Park scenario? By any chance in AoE 2? Because I remember it was a mod version of the Chokunu that shot webs at the survivors. Shame. Hey. I got your big B game downloading right now. I'm going to show it in folder and copy it right over right now. We're going to see right here, right now, if it works. Hopefully it does. Your description of all the Ronin and Mamluks makes me very enticed by it. I'm going to do that right now, right here. Right now. Alright, so let's find this thing right now. It's right down here. This one. Hey. So, what civs have we got? We got 2 Dutch, a Russia, and a United States. And on the other side, we got a Dutch, a Russia, a Lakota, and a British. I can already see where the whole Mamluk Ronin thing is coming from here. We got 3 Dutch, 3 mercenaries spamming civs. Yeah, this is looking really spicy right now. Really is. And looking at the map, it's one of those rivery maps, right? That has the little ford crossings in it. It's that one in Europe, so you got the nice European natives on it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this 4v4 supremacy. This is going to be a pretty good one. And Aaliyah doing Lakota, one of the very strong civs of Aaliyah. Let's get started. I'm going to have to watch this one very closely. Saw some of the screenshots in the Steam chat, and it's really impressive. I'll send market. Yep, if you didn't know, basically Dutch can Dutch get this pretty good card here called House of Nassau. Basically, it ships your team a market wagon, and the early game market techs, the hunting dogs, the placer mine, the logging, and as well as the blunderbuss and great coat, all those sort age 1 techs, they become cheaper. Right, so it's a great way to get your players some good early access to hunting dogs and their mining cards, basically. Or their mining techs, I should say. I'm gonna send it. Yeah, send it. Just send it. Don't tell me you're gonna send it, just send it. Be a pal and save everyone 100 wood by giving them a market. And even more wood and coin and food on the tech costs themselves. Really friendly thing to do. Now I'm starting to wonder who's going to be the Ronin and Mamluk spammer. Is it going to be on the Elia side, or is it going to be on the Double Dutch side? This is going to be a pretty interesting one. We'll see. We'll see who does it in the end. Alright, so this Dutch military reforms. Halberdiers march significantly more quickly. I don't use that card at all. I don't like that card. I'd rather my halberdiers personally have more damage and move a bit slower myself. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be a Dutch. It's going to be doing a lot of Merce, I can tell. It's mostly just standard unit shipments and bank coverage, right? Which isn't bad, you know, it's good. Very good. I would say in a large team game like this, you should maybe consider fencing and riding school. You know, because the more late game stuff, the merrier when the teams are bigger. How about the other Dutch, though? Do we see any sort of, like, dancing hall stuff? Well, this Dutch does have Dutch States Army. So that's mercenary-centric. It might be this one. This one does have the theaters, aka dance halls, and the Dutch States Army. So all the mercenary stuff is intact over here. But then it out of syncs. That was a blow. That was a blow. Blow I was not expecting. Oof. Oof. Ow. That really hurt. Going Lakota Bison Eco in Age 5 is challenging compared to Deathmatch 4. I can imagine, because you're coming in from a different angle. It must be very tricky indeed. And looking back to Prox Warrior, these are melee versions, spiders, basically twice the stats of Rabid Wolf. Ooh, that's pretty spicy actually. That means they're going to be really dangerous then. Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one then. And time to get shipments takes too long. Yeah, that too. You know, the longer you earn a game, you know your shipments do become more expensive in terms of experience points to get to the next shipment. So the later the game goes, basically, the more harder it's going to get the next thing of Bison. And the advantage you get, of course, in death matches, since you have a lot less shipments sent out by the time that you need the Bison, you're not waiting that long for those Bison to come, you know. But in like a real Supremacy game, it takes a pretty good amount of time for that meat to arrive, because you have to wait for like probably gajillions more XP points to come for that to even be a possibility for you. Really. What we have now here is basically a deathmatch round 2. Inca Elia versus John Italy. Is it John playing Italy, or is it a guy named John Italy? We'll see. John Italy. No, his name is John Coffee, not Italy. But it's the coffee boy again. Alright, so this is kind of interesting. Now we see Elia in the Inca seat, and they're going to be fighting Italians. This is a pretty interesting matchup. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. Definitely looking forward to this one. Oh yeah, you can like put up a basilica, right, instead of your everyday church. Yep. Cool thing about the basilica is you can get a lot of really strong elite units out of it. So you got some pretty spicy options early on as the Italians to get that working. You know, you get the Swiss Guard, right? You get the Papal Zouaves, the Papal Elmedi, basically, the Papal Bombards from the factories. You get a lot of strong elite late game units as Italy, I feel, that makes their gameplay pretty spicy in Deathmatch. Yeah. So what do you do in terms of the architect? Do you basically pay full price for the wood? Or is there any moments with the architect where you actually just build it super slowly and then you tack on the thing right after that? Picking up gun running gives them access to some outlaws from the native embassy. So Italy will start out with Royal Guard Musketeer shipment, it looks like. Yeah, that was a bit weird. Very interesting. And then also going to get Papal Company. Oh, pretty good combo of stuff. Again, the Papal Bombard shipment. Then it's going to pick up the Papal Arsenal. Now, what this does is it gives all your Papal units a strong ability, basically. Alpini helps your Basigliaries out, as well as Redshirt or Garibaldini. Yep, quite powerful. The Basigliaire is a really strong unit in the Fam Edition. What makes it pretty strong is, on top of having a pretty good movement speed for a skirm, it actually blows its trumpet when it kills something and then it stuns a unit, making it a pretty deadly unit to deal with. You know, if you have an enemy busy covering their ear holes from the loud sound of the trumpet, you know, they're going to get shot at and defeated right on the spot. Pretty good push by John Coffey here. You know, these Papal Bombards are not to be messed with. These things can do a lot of overall damage. Very powerful. I like how he has like the Papal Guards right here in defensive mode, basically to deal with any potential charges of Chimu runners. At this point, Alia's just fallen back on the massive Renegados and Jungle Bowmen. Yeah, I mean, the Renegados, you know, they do a pretty good fair amount of range damage. They're actually not that cheap in resources. They're pretty cheap in resources as well, like only like 110 coin, no food, no wood. So yeah, I mean, you could certainly do that as an option in this case. But I think the overall problem is Inca just doesn't have any solution to like blasting through those line of Papal Bombards, especially when they're being guarded so well by the Basigliaires and also the Papal Guard, basically. These Papal Guards get a really nice polearm attack that really helps them protect any of your artillery. Just steamrolling through buildings and units like nothing. Totally destructive. Absolutely destructive. And here comes the Chimus. Where are you, Papal Guards? You weren't where you're supposed to be, obviously. Busy eating pizza or something. Stay near the cannons. And honestly, at this point, I mean, they're pushing just so well, it probably doesn't even matter at this point. They're just really going in pretty hard. Yeah, pretty much. How many Bombards are left? About... Ooh, what's going on here? He's picking them apart with the Comanche Horse Archers. Oh, and doesn't he have any Huercas? Yeah, he does have Huercas. Okay, so he worked down the Papal Bombards. Pretty good. Pretty good. How much res is Inca on? So they're struggling a bit. Well, they're struggling a bit compared to Italy, which still has a lot to work with in terms of res. Right now, just trying to defend with Bersigliers and Dragoons. Dragoons are going to be good against the Chimus, and Bersigliers are going to be good against all the heavy infantry. And even out pretty well against the skirmishers, stuff like the jungle bows. Now, Italy has to reinforce with some more units. Actually, add in some of the Pavasiers as well. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, Bersigliers definitely beats up the Comanche horse archers pretty good. And definitely is going to wipe through a lot of these simple arching units too. Like, notice the stun there, that's what gives the Bersigliers better performance in battles like this, is they start blowing their trumpets and those infantry just get stunned in place. And they become really good targets to pick off. Oh wow, taking out those, wow. You forced me to use Jungle Bowman, GG! Is that like a death sentence, Inca, being forced to use Jungle Bowman? Is that like the epitome of failure? Like, oh no, I have to use Jungle Bowman, it's over, it's over. Oh, that's always crisp. And fresh to watch, some more resource output. Military. Yeah, big difference. You know, it's kind of interesting to see John Coffey do the opposite. Basically do what Aaliyah did in the last game we watched, the Deathmatch 1v1. Instead of Aaliyah popping out a bunch of Chinese artillery and stuff, John Coffey did the same thing with Papal Bombards. And basically gained double the kills and stuff. And got some sieges in there. Pretty interesting, to say the least. It just shows you how competitive Deathmatch really is, you know. Just the right civ, the right shipment order can make a huge difference. A big difference, really. Yeah, it really can. It looks like Aaliyah's mentioned in that game that I was synced before, so... Oh, this one. This was a tough match. Needed to be more aggressive versus Italy. Yep. Pay for the building. Yeah, that's right. You know, you have to be really... I guess you gotta be super duper aggressive in deathmatch, right? Because, basically got a bunch of resources. People are gonna be spamming at you, so you gotta be spamming it at them. Pretty much. If you don't, it probably hurts you pretty badly. To say the least. Trying to see here which one we haven't done yet. Which ones did we do? Which ones did we do? Did we do this one yet? Huh. What time did I add this in? I add this one in. What's the difference between... Oh, so these are the ones I add in today. Okay, so I definitely don't want to do those, right? Probably want to do these ones here. Yep, we can do these ones now. 3v3 deathmatch. Let's go. Alright, so who do we got here? Did we see this one already? Looks familiar. Might have seen this. Yeah, this one looks familiar. I think we've already done this one, I believe. I'm just gonna look and see if we've gone through all the ones we did so far here. Don't want to do any repeats if possible. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm probably gonna download some more games now. I think we've hit all the ones we could so far here. I got a whole set of new ones to download right now too, so I'm gonna grab some of these. So what do we got? We got so we got even more China versus Angel Inca. Angel Inca versus China 2. Jack Inca versus China. Eli China versus Jack Inca. China versus Inca. How many China versus Incas did they do? There's another DM Inca versus Eli China. Do you think we want to watch all these Incas? Yeah, let's do it. Let's get Inca to death. Let's do it. Let's do a bunch of Incas versus Chinas. There's about 5 of them here. 5 of them. Wow, 5 of them. Oof, this is going to be interesting. We're going to have to see how good these are. Let me see here. These ones I just got about now. Just copy these in and I think we'll be good to go on these ones. Yep. Alright, let's paste these in. Should be pretty fun. Gotta close Chrome so we don't eat up our CPU space. The hot. Yeah, we did the hot triple Hausa one. That was a pretty interesting one. I thought you guys were in serious trouble there, like you were gonna get completely raised. But you got together and you know people who watch the stream just rewind and see it. You know, it's really good. Yeah. So what do I have to do? I have to like load again. Yeah, like look at all these Inca versus China, Inca versus China. It's like yeah, like somebody really likes Inca versus China or something. Like it's like somebody really got obsessed with this combination. Like they just had to do it. But we'll see. I mean, we'll look at it so many times that I think it'll be safe to say yep, this is another one. Alright, so this is a new one. Okay, so this time it's John Coffey and Aaliyah doing China versus Inca again, but the map, the town center spawns are reversed. China's down here, and Inca are all the way up here. Let's see if map positioning gives John Coffey a advantage this time. Or if he's just gonna flop on his face like he did the last time he tried Inca. We'll see. See what he can do. China making disciples, good choice. You know, the cool thing about disciples is from the Shaolin Monk is they don't cost any pop, so it's just a nice little side unit to make, right? At best, they're gonna do their Triming Trufa Hauda Kung Fu fighting moves and give you some more disciples. At worst, they're just gonna be a nice filler unit to have on the front line, since they are indeed, you know, shock infantry, so they're basically cavalry. You know, cavalry without a horse. But they can certainly kick like a horse, though. That's for sure. Watch your head. Seeing the same, Oh, look at the plume spearman attack from Inca. This is big. This is big. Look at this aggression. Whoa. Start sieging stuff. Don't give him time to build things. Don't let him build these fortune cookie houses or whatever. Start burning stuff. Yeah, get these mountain castles down. Start burning things, cooking things. You know, cooking things with your spearmen. Jungle Bowman, it's already over. He's making Jungle Bowman. Bolus Warriors. Any Huerica slingers yet? We'll see. Nope, just Bolas and the Jungle Bowman right now. Oh, I think I know what he did. He used the big buns from the town center to send out a bunch of plumed spearmen initially, just so he could start the unit production back at home while he was doing that. That's pretty clever, you know? Just throw a bunch of spearmen at your opponent super quickly, right? And then while they're busy dealing with that sieging nonsense, you can build a real army in the back. Oh, that's pretty good, you know? Probably should have done that the first game, honestly, and he probably would have, you know, disrupted Aliyah a bit more. But here's the moment of truth. We see if Doppelsolner, Flamethrower, Needle Gunner beats Jungle Bowman, Bolas Warrior, and what's over here? Chimus. Yeah, Chimu. Chimu. You gotta back up from these. These things got splash attack. You can't afford to be taking too heavy a losses from these. Now, that's the scary thing about the Doppels, is if once they get into melee range with your range units, they technically have about as much damage as like Corsair does, you know, with Splash. So I mean, the Splash and the hand attack in unison, so it's just really powerful to watch. Does he have any Huerica slingers yet? No, he does not, so he has to charge in full throttle with the Chimus to take out the flamethrowers and then start to make inroads into the skirmishers. Does he have enough? He needs to make some Chimus right now. He needs something to pressure the skirmies and the flamethrowers with. He can't just go Jungle Bowman forever. Jungle Bowman forever. I mean, I wish you could go Jungle Bowman forever, but you do need to get some hand units in there too. Because now what's going to happen is, yeah, you know, you get Iron Flails, Meteor Hammers against some of those really strong Chinese cav units mixed in. So that's not good. Yep, he's starting to focus on economy, it looks like. Picking up the villager training improvement. To pick up the Chicha brewing to make the Concha houses trickle out more food. It's going to pick up the terrace farming to improve the farming rate. Road building. Do you really need to move much faster with your military when the enemy's literally at your gates? How much faster do you need to run? You know, are Inca legs not fast enough to reach their targets? I don't know. But here comes the fatal thing in the last game. Heavy cannons with flying crows. And flames. This seems to be the deadly lethal combo here of the century. Seems to wipe out everyone that isn't ready for it. Yeah, it seems to be the big heavy knocker, I think. And yeah. Comancheros, I don't think that's going to cut it, though, because we got all these skirms units here. We got Chukunus. Yeah, it's already looking over for you, man. I think, well, it's 2-0 right now. Well, it's 2-1 if we consider all the John Coffey games. Aliyah's winning 2-1. If we just consider Inca versus China, Aliyah's winning 2-0. No chance. Yeah, there's no chance against Aliyah. Aliyah's the MVP of China in deathmatch. There's no stopping him. We'll see, though. We'll see. There was some more, there was like 4 other China versus Incas in there, so we need to look at those as well. Cowboys to the rescue. Here comes the Pistoleros. I don't think they're going to help out too much here, honestly. Nope, they're gone. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, it's kind of looking like a reflection of the... Yeah, I mean, it's the same, like, proportions. Like, Aliyah gets this same sort of kill proportion and raise proportion when he goes China versus Inca, so it's... copy of the other one, basically. We gotta see the other ones, though. We gotta see the other ones. See the other 4 of them to see if they're, you know, what we believe it is. Oh, Leah said different consulates. Right, I have to go now. I can no longer stay at Watts. Thanks for the cast. We'll continue tomorrow. Good night. Oh, good night. Good night, Leah. I'm going to be covering your other Inca versus China's right now. And we'll see if there's any more games we can do, too. You know. The problem is when I'm going through weeks and weeks of stuff, I have to make sure I'm not just going through carbon copies of the ones I did before. And, yeah. So now we're going to see Jack Inca. What's Jack Inca? What's the difference between John Coffey Inca and Jack Inca? Any difference? I'm getting fed up already. So we're looking at it from the opposite order. So I guess John Coffey is getting very tired of the Chinese. He's getting very tired of their Peking raviolis slapping him around, basically. So we'll see if John Coffey can drink some coffee and maybe gain a bit of energy to do this. Sending in the big mass of Plume Spearmen right now. This time in a coating of yellow. We'll see if that works. Maybe it works. Maybe it doesn't work. Definitely a bit of a different defense here. Yeah. Any walls this time? Nope. No walls this time, so they're just going to go right for the... Yeah. French... Oh, he's going French frogs this time. Croissants. Oui. Filet. Yeah, he's going with the French this time. Let's see if he doesn't miss the mark this time with the Plume Spearies. Ooh. Take out the town center. Interesting. Yeah. Cool thing about taking down town centers is it's less villagers that can be building on the front lines. So yeah, I mean, if you can take one out, not a bad idea. Ooh, took out one town center, two town center. Ooh, good work. Gonna take out that consulate. He said, no, not today. No consulate armies for you, man. Dealt with that before with the heavy cans. We're not letting you do that again. Yeah, he took it out, but not quick enough, so he's going to have to deal with some Horse Arty and some French gendarmes here. Huercas by themselves, not going to be great. You kind of have to keep them with the rest of the army, honestly, otherwise it just doesn't work the way you want to. Yeah, protect these. You're going to need these for, you're going to need these to do some of the siege work, so definitely make sure those are protected. I do like how taking out the consulate basically, saved him a bit of time of dealing with more of these annoying heavy cav. It's always good. Always got some of the champion macemen as well. Pretty strong melee unit from spearmen. Alright, so now you got Chimu runners on top of the flamethrowers. When you're going straight up flamethrower like that, going Chimu is quite nice. Quite durable. So what makes the Chimu runners immune to getting scorched by that many flames? Like, are they like super mutant or something? Super mutant Incas that can withstand high temperatures or something? Yeah, it's kind of weird. Kind of weird how they can do that. Gotta watch your stuff too, man. I think the problem with Inca right now is to just split up their armies too much and they have to consolidate a bit here. They need to consolidate and do this very, very carefully. Yeah. Wow, that's a lot of horse artillery though. That could be a problem. Could be a big problem. What a load of bullets. Good pun. Good pun. What a load of bullets. Hey kids, this is how you get around your parents, find out what you're saying. Say a load of bull-ass. Bull-ass. I forgot to put Vils on food. Well, isn't that what the Concha houses are for, man? They trickle food for you? I have 7 villagers. Thanks for letting me know, man. Now I know to hit you harder now. That's a great idea. Tell about a few villagers we got. Well, you know why he doesn't have a lot of villagers is because John Coffey actually did a really good snipe at the start of the game with the Plume Spearman wiping out TC, so it kind of threw his eco for a bit of a loop there, basically. Yeah, this is, I think the heavy cav is the problem. No, it's just such a tanky, splashy mess dealing with them. It really prevents you from dealing with the flamethrowers, which is the real enemy all along, you know? Oh, this is... Oh, so the fact that he forgot food basically cost him the game, right? Because now he doesn't have any food. Is that it? Is that it? You forgot to get food? As the Inca, so now you... This must be stressful for Inca right now. Yeah, you don't realize how stressful it is just watching this. Like, imagine the pain and suffering and torment Inca's going through right now, just trying to figure out how to deal with a nasty situation like this. Like, I think something we've learned today is never use the Inca to fight the Chinese in a deathmatch. It's just a really not so good idea. Just a really bad idea. Never, ever, ever use the Inca to fight China in deathmatch, because this will be you. Just big open flames, cannonballs, and other assorted forms of torture all at the same time. He's literally lighting the Inca base like a Christmas tree. You need Nat card in Age 1, John Coffey. Maybe if you drank some coffee, maybe you would remember to get that, man. But wait a second, he doesn't have the... I didn't realize that, but he doesn't have the native... Why? Why? Why wouldn't you have that? Then you can make Mapuche, yeah. See? See, senor? Get the Mapuche Native Embassy with the Age 1 card. Why would he not do that in a deathmatch? Making me scratch my head. Who wouldn't want Native Warriors from the home city? You know? You know, I mean, especially, yeah, oh yeah, the Bolas Riders of the Mapuche, they have Splash, too, so, I mean, that would have completely cleaned out this whole heavy cav problem. See the difference with Bulsas? Yeah, I mean, I guess. It's pretty alarming because you see how much few resources Aaliyah has, and he's like still dominating the... Still won. Yeah, that's the sad part of it, man. If you just remember to eat your corn and your popcorn as the Inca, you probably would have made it on top. Yeah. It's like one of those all-out sort of rushes like you have with the Mexicans usually in deathmatch, right? Those are pretty all-out-ish, right? Yeah. Yeah, basically. Yeah, I think the militarily, proportion-wise... Oh, this was an even bigger gap for Aaliyah. Less villagers and actually got more of the kills out. Really scary stuff. Yeah, I'm ready for the next one, though. Are you? Got more of these to uncover. Prox Warrior. The spiders are melee in my mod. Yeah, I know about that. You mentioned it before, how they have basically an even stronger attack than the rabid wolf does. Yeah, that's pretty powerful. Quite powerful, actually. Definitely looking forward to doing all those festive mod maps of Prox Warrior. If you didn't know, Prox Warrior is an Age of Empires 2 modder that built a really nice mod called Festive Mod. It has a lot of holiday themed civs. It has like a Twitch subscriber themed civ. It's got a Minecraft themed civ. There's like Trump and Biden and Obama references in his mod. It's really fun. So you should definitely get that if you have the chance to do it. So we're reading these games in opposite order. That's alright, I don't care. we'll watch them in opposite order. Who cares? Alright. Built too close. Damn good start too. Built too close? What is that supposed to mean? So, same position. Now we see the Plume Spearmen spawn from the town center once again. I think at the end of this experience, we're going to know exactly what to do on Texas with Incas. Like, just never, ever go up against the Chinese, basically. Because no matter what John Coffey does, no matter how much coffee John Coffey drinks, he just doesn't know how to figure out how to deal with China. It's just, like, impossible. It's utterly impossible to do. Yeah, it's basically impossible. Oh, now he's going with the frogs again, the French frogs. Oui, je la filet. Get the consulate down this time, because it's that heavy cavi horse artillery thingy is going to really mess you up. Also try to take out these castles too, like if you can take out some of these castles and stuff. Yeah, that cuts down the number of flamethrowers you have to deal with, which is going to be really, really important here, yeah. Oh no, the flamethrowers have arrived, oh no. Yeah. Yeah, that's... I like the Chima runners though, like following up with that is pretty good. I wish he did that in the last game, probably would have made a bit of a difference there. Yeah, I mean, he's cooking, he's doing something. But I think it's gonna be fatal once that consulate starts pumping out the consulate stuff again. I think it's gonna be the end. Oh, we shipped Rodelros in too. That's kind of interesting. Now, the problem with Rodelro is it's heavy infantry, so the flamethrowers are just going to cook them. Cook them like empanadas. Yeah, it's just not going to be a good way to utilize your shipments. Gonna do the Plume Spearman with jungle bows. How's his coin looking? Alright, so he does have some food still. Alright. Those are Huercas, so they should really be targeted on something. Yeah, they should be targeted on the horse artillery because that's going to be the only thing the Huercas can actually do. But unfortunately, the flamethrowers keep pushing the front lines forward, so you actually can't get a good shot at them. Yeah. This one was less than 5 minutes. Wow. These are really fast. Super duper fast. How many more of these do we have to do? I think we got, I'll have to look. I'll have to look at how many more we have to do. Yeah, like, what's the proportions? Similar maths, you know? Similar maths. We keep getting the same maths each time with this. Yeah, pretty interesting. So now we're going to go into the next one. Just have to pay attention because I really don't want to spam the same games at you, right? check. Which one? So these are Angel. So these are a different opponent now I'm seeing. I don't know. Does it really matter what order we do them in? I don't think it does. We'll do this one, I think. Then we'll do the other one. I thought it said Angel. It's John Coffey again. This coffee drinker. We don't want to see a coffee drinker again. We want to see somebody new, somebody exciting, somebody that doesn't keep losing to the same Civ combination every game. Yeah, it's alright, it's alright. I mean, I think it's stuck free. What? 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 That's the quickest game in history. It lasted 23 seconds. Are they even trying anymore? 23 seconds? Come on. This is the problem for John Coffey. He's been violated so many times. He doesn't have enough self-esteem anymore to even play the game for more than 23 seconds. This man has had his career ruined by Aaliyah in China. This man's career is over. He can't even withstand a game for more than 23 seconds. He literally has to keep reeing and reeing for the perfect, situation. Just, wow. 23 seconds. Oh, boy. There we have it, folks. Let's look at the post game and see how good everybody did. So, yeah, it looks like Leah was a bit behind in his other resources because, well, they only start out with so many of these resources to get as much export. So, yeah, basically, John Coffey wins in resources just because he started as this Civ, I guess. And then, kills, military training, China had 10 units, Inca had 38 units, and both sides got really upset. They became pacifists. They didn't want to engage in war anymore, so they hugged on it and created the Peace Corps, and nobody died. Nobody got burnt. No units were lost. China's favorite unit is literally the emergency units at the town center, and Inca's favorite unit is the stuff you could spam with the big buns from the town center. So there we have it, a very overcomplicated analysis of a 23-second game. Yeah, 23 seconds though. That they should have resigned in 1 second and made a real record of it, I think, personally. Yeah, definitely. So let me go back in and we will do the last one of these, and then I'm going to look for even more recorded games. There was one I wanted to do that I can't seem to find now. I don't know if I lost my memory or my tree or something. I just can't find it. So I'll have to go back and find that one for you. And play that one right away. It'll be a long one. It's like a super big one. Like an actually big one. So, yeah. Alright, so, China versus Inca once again. The age-old combination we keep seeing again and again and again for the last time, maybe. Yeah, these guys just really love to play the same set of civs again and again, like Groundhog Day. It feels like the Groundhog Day moment of AoE 3, just same civs over and over and over again. And now they've literally been in the same map position again and again and again. Yeah. So what's the difference this time? Aaliyah gets British consulate instead of French. So instead of horse artillery and big tanky armored horses, he's got hussars and falchies, basically. Okay. So is it going to make any difference, though? Is John Coffey drinking enough coffee to maybe do this time? He's going to get it at some point, right? We can only hope for his sanity and his career that he eventually does win out in the end. So a town center has been sniped. Now he's going to be dealing with a bunch of... Oh, so he's making Mongolian army. Okay, that's different. Does he have any flamethrowers? No flamethrowers. He's going with Chinese cavalry and... Oh, that's kind of fascinating. The Huercas actually sniped a castle, which is neat. He could maybe snipe one of those, too. Or he could actually try to snipe some of those falcons with it, which would probably be the best move to do. Yeah, that's what I would try to do. Yeah, I mean, really. Boom. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This is like your last chance, John Coffey, to prove yourself. Your last chance, man. After this, you don't get any more chances until you decide to do it yet again. Whenever that is. Alright, yeah. It's gonna try to consolidate some army, I bet, here. So now it's slowly just a spam of a bunch of Chinese horses and hussars at this point that's doing him in. So you have like any Bullis warriors? Yeah, he's got a few of them. I'd get some more though, really. Like, yeah, these hussars could be a serious threat with that HP, so you definitely have to deal with that head on. Roderos? I don't know about that. They're only veteran upgrade. It's kind of like cringe to make these. I wonder you're resigning in 23 seconds. Gotta get a good game plan going. Yeah, I mean, kind of like what we've seen for probably like the 10th time now. Only this time it's with Hussars and Kejiks and Falconets. It feels like one of those weird cookbooks that you get at like at a wholesale club or something that says like 10 different ways to cook eggs, 10 different ways to make cookies, 10 different ways to make breakfast. You get 10 different ways to kill Incas using the Chinese. That sort of felt like this whole entire series basically of theirs is, 10 different ways to beat the Inca using the Chinese and 100% guaranteed success every single time. Won't even be much of a challenge. You might lose town center every now and then, but will you lose the game? Absolutely not. Yeah, that's basically it. It's like we're looking at a recipe book for how to kill Incas. And the one time Malia changed it up and went with the Incas, he died as well to Italy. So I think the theme of this whole day is the Incas are the worst deathmatch civ in history, or probably one of the worst ones in history, and you should... No, that's not true. I think Malia won with Inca last week against Gandhi, right, India. Big stinky elephant and camel civ, so... Yeah, you can actually win with Inca. It's probably not easy, though. I would have thought that the Inca, because of their roster, would probably have a bit more luck, but I don't know. GG, another try. Well, guess what? Thankfully, I watch these things in reverse, so we don't have to watch another try. We can watch a better game. Maybe show something a bit more varied. Yeah. And same results and resources, and same kill performance almost. So, yeah, nothing's really changed there. Yeah. So now what we're going to do is, we're going to find that game that I was talking about that I really wanted to show you. Right? It's a pretty lengthy one, so I know for sure you definitely want to see it to believe it. Yeah, so now I'm going to find that in the HENI conversation. Yep, let me see that. So it's, So which one is it? You didn't tell me which one it is, though. Gonna look through that. Okay, I think I found the one. I think I found the droids we were looking for. Alright. I believe it's, Did we already add that one before? 3v3 DM? Let me see. We might already have it, I don't know. I just think that it would be great if we had, like, something new, something fresh, something really lengthy and spicy for us to look at that we haven't seen in a while. Let me see. Do we have it already? I believe we don't. I just looked through all this stuff. I don't think we got it, so why don't we look at that one, like, right now? Just 3v3 DM, right? Yeah, so we don't have it. 3v3 DM, just that text. Yeah, we could. You want to watch them both? We could watch them both tonight. I got time this time around, so if you want to have like a little watch along of me with these two really long death matches, we can do them. Get them all done now. Alright, I'll download the other one too. Get the other one. This one and this one. This one here. Alright. Okay. Let's do that one. These two. Alright. I want to do the biggest one first, though. The Super Chungus one. Because I think after watching the same repetitive John Coffey didn't drink enough coffee and lost with Inca thing 20 times, we need to refresh ourselves with something really fresh and long and exciting. Do you agree with me on that, or... Yeah, I agree with myself, so that's what we're going to do. Yeah, okay, so, here we go. I have to exit out of this, and I have to go back in. Depending on how my throat is feeling after the biggest one, we can, what's the biggest one, actually? Let me just make sure. It's the one without the space D and M. Okay, so this one is supposed to be like a really good long deathmatch team game for us to cover. It might be a good one to cap off with, I don't know. It's the time right now, it's like 7:23, so yeah, we could do this one now. So, what do we got? We got Tom Nunes playing as the British. He usually plays Mexico, so it's pretty surprising seeing him go with the Civ like this. Don Stowe's the Dutch. He's great with the Dutch. Leah's playing the unstoppable Steletsy Civ. And who's on the opposing side? We got Frosty with Mexico. We got Aquinoconstinos with Ottomans. And we got JSH with the Portuguese. Yeah, this should be a pretty fun one. Just let me know, people, if you've seen this before. I don't think we've done this one before. I didn't find in my list of recorded games, but yeah, we didn't do this one before. I couldn't find the file, so you definitely didn't see this one yet. Alright. So yeah, I mean, this is going to be a pretty big duel, I think. I mean, you got the pretty long-range siege potential of the British longbowmen here with their siege archery, or they could, of course, swap out for the Rangers and get fully fledged anti-infantry killing power, I think. On the Russian side, a lot of spammable infantry to push the front lines. You can keep adding forts and blockhouses in as needed to keep pushing forward on this pretty wide expanse over here. I wonder if anybody will use this little parcel of the map as well, because it is hidden away a bit by the river, and you can take advantage of the defensive aspect to not only get some attacks down here, you can also grab the natives down here too, the Tupi natives, which can definitely give you a pretty good asset. And over here you got the Mapuche natives, which has their own sort of advantage. Alright, so how's this going to start? So everybody's sending out their sort of like little contingents of Minutemen. By the time they get to where they are, they only have like one hit point. You could literally blow, exhale some carbon dioxide into the air and they would fall on their feet. Not very strong. That's like they do right now. Yeah. Weak Minutemen. Russia's got the Team Kamchatka expansions card. That's good. That'll help everybody's cavalry out, particularly British, who already have some pretty good cav. Could also help the Dutch get some nice HP on their riders. Yeah. Oh, this is interesting. So, Alia's going to use the Bashkir Rebellion. And it's going to take advantage of the native embassies to mass out a bunch of the Bashkir archers, which are basically the same as Tatar archers. Yep. And basically what makes these pretty good is they're only like one pop. It's sort of like the trade-off of getting this card. And you can basically spam out a bunch of one-pop cav archers with it. Only sort of problem Brian, of course, is that it costs wood instead of coins, so if you run out of trees, that's a bit of a problem, but otherwise, it's probably more efficient than going cav archers, which, you know, you can only have half of because they're a 2-pop unit. Yeah. Alright, so here's the fighting. This is the wine wall of Teal. Portugal's trying to build a line right here. A line in the sand, or whatever this sand-looking material is. Here we're going to see Vigilantes, Dragoons, also some Shanaka Riders team up with the Dragoons and Caçadores to try to pinch her at this position against the Dutch, who are trying to position some outposts over here. Also interesting, we see a wall developed over here, and this is the borderline of the British on this side, so we already start to see a bit of battle potential on this little flank as well. But for right now, all the warfare is taken care of, is working up here. Looks like, was that some spies that are spying over there, wiped out by the Janissaries. This is going to be the main push right here. At the same time, we see Bashkir cav archers engage against the Ottoman cav archers. The advantage that the Bashkirs are going to have is just more of them here, right? More bodies to work with, right? A cav archer has about 398 HP. The Bashkirs have about 259 HP, which isn't that much lower, honestly. So that means it's going to take a pretty long time just to take out one of them. Right, it's not too big of a disadvantage, and there's like double the units to deal with, so you're literally getting overwhelmed by overwhelming numbers, which I imagine can become a targeting nightmare for the units too. And because the AI on the military isn't always ideal, I bet, I think what happens a lot of the time is the Abyss gunners will shoot onto one of the Tatar archers while the other ones are still firing their arrows, and in the end, having the bigger number of cav archers is better than having the statistically stronger ones. Yeah. Oh, this is not good. You got Falks right here. Those are definitely going to be soft targets for these. But thankfully for Ottomans, they got a nice walling sort of formation here with the stables and the foundries to keep that protected and guarded. Tatar's going into melee against the Coves. Wow, that's a really spicy move. Up here I see more of these Tatars engaging, completely surrounding the Portuguese army. Yeah, Portugal's trying to push out from their wall while they're being pushed on their supply lines by the Tatar archers. Over here we see Mexico and Portuguese attempt to push along this line. John Stowe trying to keep some culverins in standing position there to basically fend off any pushing artillery. Unfortunately, not targeted the right stuff and got targeted down by this culverin. The Don Stowe Hussars managed to clean up the culves though, so more of them are going to have to be produced, and just in the time for more horse artillery to arrive in from Dutch. British, as I mentioned before, are going to do a lot of longbowmen here. Great unit because they have a lot of range, good rate of fire, and they can use siege archery to blast down walls. You better have siege archery though, that's for sure. I got a phone call, 1 second. back. We're in a pretty good place here. Right now we see Longbowmen covering the wall over here. Dutch is doing their combat from this side. Wow, a Mexican fort was denied right in the spot. Oh, almost choked up my words there because like, yeah. Wow, this is a bad situation though. You definitely don't want to be going up against Abyss gunners with these cav archers, no matter how many of them you do have. Yep, Mexico trying to intercept a little bit too, but I think it's a little bit overkill. They should really be focused on this front over here. Yeah, any sort of combat here yet? Nah, I think this is going to be a potential front though at some point. Vigilantes and Cazadors and Goons and Organ Guns. Yeah. I guess sort of my peeve with the organ guns is that they're not that good in terms of range. Like, they're going to get sniped pretty well by these culves, which they are right now. So I feel like they're kind of a waste of coin and wood, honestly. It's just my opinion, you know, you can have any opinion. Oh, wow, a mortar was taken out. Extended way too far there. But then the mortar blasted one of the... Oh. It's going in both directions, I guess. Yeah. The lonely falconet just standing there in the dirt, not knowing what to do. So, this is a very long-range fight here. It's far from any sort of like buildings, at least from the Ottomans. I mean, the Ottomans haven't really pushed this far yet. But unfortunately, it looks like his falc targeting is a bit off. And he actually did take out one of the horse artilleries. Some of the Tatars being put into melee to disrupt the Abyss gunners. Yeah, that's a good maneuver by Elia though to get that going. I like too how Elia's starting to think about this front as well. This elevated area here, protected by the cliffs. It's going to start sticking layered walls here to basically ensure, hey, we're not going to get flanked on this side now. He's even going to try to cap this off, which is very close. Wonder if he's going to put some buildings right here and push close to the line over there. Tatars disrupting the push of the Mexicans now. Killing off settlers as they're trying to put up outposts. It did finish the job though, so that tower will stay up and functioning. Just let me know if you need coin. Who, British or Dutch? Well, Dutch usually has their own coin because they got all the banks, right? Yeah, Dutch is totally fine. British, though. British has a lot of coin, too. I mean, I think they're all good here. I mean, if anything, they should probably be worried about making sure that both the British and the Russians get enough wood, because the unit comps they're going with are very wood heavy. Both the Tatar archers and the longbowmen. So what's this here? Is this more of the... I can't believe that Leah's able to get this much success just spamming out a bunch of cav archers, essentially. Oh, but then he has a bit of the counter-Jaegers too. Now this is pretty interesting. So the counter-Jaegers are Jaegers that counter Jaegers. They counter other skirmishers, right? They get multipliers against the light infantry tag, which is aka the skirmisher. So they actually do really good damage against Abyss. Pretty good unit overall, and it's only like a 1 pop unit too. So when is Elia gonna like start developing buildings here? Start like putting stuff down. Oh, but you know what the problem might be? The problem might be is that he's using native embassies and he can only have so many of them, right? A build limit of like 3, so... Yeah, that could be totally be the problem here, is he's... doesn't want to start production in the back here. How many of these can you have? So you can have 8 of them. Alright, so you should be able to put some over here. Remember in like Wars of Liberty, the build limit of the embassy is like 3. Here it's like 8, so... Yeah, you should be able to at least move some maybe over here-ish or something. Something like that. I mean, I kind of like how Ottomans have a bit of a choke point over here between the trees, which disrupts movement in the cliff over here. It does give the artillery a bit more of a straighter shoot, I think, going up against these units are normally not good against, you know, the light cav. And that's able to allow Ottomans to keep them at bay at this point. So at this point, it looks like Portugal and Mexico have been forced behind their wall now. Don Stowe and Nunes are going to try to shell down their walls right now, it looks like. Oh, he got little bombards. Where did he get those from? Did he ship those? Or did he train those? He shipped them. He's had a shipment of little bombards. He better use them properly, though. I'd be pretty upset if he just let these things go to waste just in there. They better micro their way through these culves here and get those to work. Unfortunately, the longbowmen got in the way of the culves, though, and now that's going to put them on an off-footing in terms of positioning there. We do see Tupis add into the army now, so natives are going to be utilized, which is great. On this side, they did get the wall portion down now, which is good. Yeah, definitely. Force artillery working on that side too. Ooh, nice. Nice. Seems like right now, yeah, is this the same position that, yeah, that looks like Russia's basically pinned into this position. I haven't really seen him get moved beyond that point now. Yeah. Basically spamming 1 million riders down to make individual snipes on the culves there. Probably the only thing you can do to basically push back this line here so you can get the drive the horse artillery in a bit more. Mortar's also working on this too. Gonna take down the Portuguese or whatever fort that was. Oh, it was a Mexican fort. Fort Taqueria. Fort Cantina. Juanita Bonita. Fort Juanita Bonita. Imagine naming your fort Juanita Bonita. Yeah, that's a good fort name. I don't think anyone but me would ever come up with something like that, but alright. Planted down the Mexican flag. Still holding this line here, which is good. how is Aaliyah's res count doing? So can he like keep this? So he's actually switching from the Tato Archers, and he's now going into Unstoppable Stilezzi production. A bit different now. Still has some oh, is he still making Tato Archers? So he's got Tato Archers left up here, but he's also got Unstoppable Stilezzis, and he is setting up the queue of Horse Artillery. He's also going to get the Mapuche natives, which are pretty solid, you know. The Ironwood Clubmen, pretty strong, as well as the Bolas Cavalry, pretty strong as well with Splash. It's going to start... Oh wow, he's starting to push on the native embassies, which is going to disrupt the protection of that. I think he's going to get this one down as well, probably, before he fights him off. At least for the moment right now, it seems like Don Stowe and Nunes are able to start showing these defensive structures that this team keeps trying to put up, keeping Mexico and Portugal from pulling any of their forts or towers over there. Oh, Mexico is trying to flank the Russian army now, trying to move some vigilantes over to his side. Pretty spicy move, honestly. It's going to give Ottomans a bit more edge to maybe take down these blockhouses now, which is going to put Leah on let 2v1. Let 2v1 on which side? So Leah wants to get 2v1'd? Well, okay, so the reason why he probably wants to be 2v1'd is it's going to give Don Stowe and the other one here Nunes more advantage in pushing on this flank now. If they can like get Mexico to engage in a 2v1 over here, this gives Don Stowe more map positioning basically to get these howitzers deeper into the base and start shelling at stuff. Pretty much what they can do. Yeah, I do commend Ottomans for holding this line though. Like they've basically been pretty consistent for a while in this positioning, having like some sort of cove or something here, and yeah, Ottomans are at least defending their side pretty well. Whereas it seems like the Mexico and Portuguese side here seems to keep taking. And how is this little bombard still alive too? I want to know. Like it's still alive. Also wondering when we're going to see a lot of action on this side next, in terms of fighting. Yeah, you definitely need to reposition a bit his Ottomans, I think, and get some unit numbers here. Yeah, that would be a great idea. Oh, went right after the riders with the Sri Lanka riders, the Jalos. Not a good idea. Huh. What's the late? I thought I was gonna jump into that position for a while, but now he's. This is pretty strong by Aaliyah, like driving this forward here, trying to retain that Mapuche site. Definitely devies the enemy team access to those natives. If he can maintain that, that's additional army that's going to give Aaliyah more advantages coming into these fights against his opponent. We see sort of this line developing here with the Dutch skirmishers and the Moors and the cannons taking sort of a diagonal line of attack against the Vigilantes and the Dragoons. Probably Don Stow's biggest concern is trying to make sure he's positioning his skirms in such a way that he's not given too much of an inch to the enemy cannons or light cav to start making inroads into their artillery. I do find it a bit more troublesome though that you... yep, you gotta watch that stuff. You have to be careful of that. That's why you probably should keep your culverins back slightly. Because he just sort of walked right into that. He just lost a whole batch of the culverins pretty quickly there. Now we see Ottomans trying to push once again, but I don't see a lot of siege substance here. They're probably going to need some sort of like mortar or something to really take care of that forward position of the Russians here. So yeah, you're going to need something for that. They don't got it right now. Leo trying to provide some potential pushing power on this side, trying to force Mexico to change their positioning here and put more of the 2v1 pressure on Portugal to handle both Dutch army and the British army, which is working pretty good. Now that Leah has had to flee a bit here, I should really make some Cossacks LOL. Honestly, yeah, I mean, you would basically force Ottomans into a different army comp than doing that. You know, because right now what we're seeing is mostly Abbas and Kulverin. You know, so if you could get some Cossacks in there to, you know, obstruct the Abbas a bit, maybe obstruct the artillery a bit, that could be one way that you could get a potential push in here, for sure. Yeah, most definitely. Okay, okay. A bit of pushing there. A bit of idling here on Portugal's side, though. I would be like, go after those Moors. Those things are going to keep pushing you back if you don't stop them now. Yeah, if you're on Team Portugal and Mexico here, you need to start undoing the damage that has been done by mortars and artillery. You need to start taking out their mortars and start doing some counter siege, a bit of a counter offensive yourself now. Otherwise, you're going to keep losing territory and eventually they're going to be right at your gates. Or you need to change up the battlefield and either find some way to attack over here, ideally. This one. I don't think we're going to get much action over here because it's totally through the Ottomans and that takes a lot of maneuverability to do. And yeah, but best going through here, I think, and opening up the front potentially, because if you do that, guess what? Guess what's on the outside of this thing? Mills, factories, civilian people, you know, people that, well, they carry guns, but they're not that good, basically. They're like water squirters, basically. They squirt water. Yeah. Yeah, kind of interesting. My question is can Portugal hold the line here against Hussars enough that you could actually let Mexico
try to pinch her onto this wall complex. The thing that makes it hard when you're the defending side on here is you got this literal native site preventing you from pushing in together. You got one person has to come in over here, and you got somebody that at least has to be around this line over here. It complicates things a bit. What are these? Are these the... Oh, the ordnance riflemen. Ah, interesting. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, we don't always see the ordnance riflemen be made. And then these are the ordnance pikemen, right? Yeah. So, yeah, basically the ordinanzas from Wars of Liberty, basically. Only these are like fully statted pikemen. These aren't, you know, the trashy Ordinanza spearmen from Wars of Liberty that Chorizo thought was gonna win him in a mirror. Yeah, no. Yeah. Yeah, that was fun, you know, seeing that. I think we had a talk on Monday. Basically that match ended the Liga. One where I was, Portuguese mirror against Chorizo, and he went for like this big Ordinanza rush. It just blew up exponentially. Yeah, that was like the end of the Liga, basically. Chorizo didn't want to continue the event after all that stuff transpired. It was just an utter mess for him. You too. Can you make more hand cav? Yeah, I mean, you're British. You got really good King's Lifeguard Hussars here. So why not make more of them? You know, I think if you let the British make the Hussars and you let Dutch do the range stuff, that might work pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, I guess sort of the Let me look at Portugal, actually. Well, are they making... Why are they making the ordnance units? Are they, like, starting to starve them recently? They got some coin. I don't know why they're moving on to the ordnance spearmen at this point, though. Maybe they're trying to play super budgety and throw back some resources or something. Could be, I guess. Totally possible. Totally possible. I mean, the thing you gotta realize is once you get to probably like this mark of the game, like half hour in, people are gonna start to lose resources if they're not like balancing their stuff out. I find it pretty neat. Yeah, so he is actually losing quite a bit of coin, and he's opted for the Ordnance Rifleman, which technically a weaker unit than the Cazador. It's basically a Portuguese upgrade to the crossbowman line, basically. But it only costs like 35 wood compared to the coin cost of a Cazador. So if you're running out of coin, you can't afford Cazador Dragoon production, you're kind of dead. So one way to offset that is, you know, get the Dragoons for the coin, and then you can add an Ordinanza Rifleman to basically be your skirm, basically. And yeah, and you can even use some of that extra coin to make Hussars like it's doing right here. I'm curious when we're going to see this fort come into play, like when this fort's going to be pushed by the Russians. Because it seems like this little corridor, this like rectangular area has been like unmoved basically this whole for a good amount of time. Like a good like 10, 15-ish minutes for sure. So yeah, definitely pretty impressed by how that one has turned out for the most part. Yeah. going full trash unit on that side against the British. I don't know how that's gonna go. So, oh, interesting. British went for the Rangers instead of the longbows. Well, I noticed he didn't have siege archery in his deck, so that makes total sense. Good thing about the Rangers is they have a bit extra multipliers against the heavy infantry. You know, thanks to their effective Yeoman on them. Yeah. I'm gonna let this play for a couple more seconds and turn the light on. It's getting a little dark in here, so just watch the show until I get back. Okay, so we're seeing a bit of combat here. Oh wow, look at that Hussar. Good maneuver there. Push way too forward with those mortars. You have to protect those things. And it's gonna lose this line of coves as well. No, pikemen came. About half of the group though. Why this group is... Oh no, but they went too forward. Now those Hussars are gonna... Yeah. I imagine these cards are really good value, Infinite 2 Culverins. Yeah. Basically, Portugal doesn't have to burn through its coin stockpile to get anti-artillery. They can just send loops and loops and loops of these Culverins as needed. Which is probably very convenient for them, too. And I guess another thing I didn't consider as well with the Portuguese is the Feitoreas card. Essentially, those TCs are going to be trickling a bit of wood. You know, a bit of each resource, basically. So, yeah. Quite good. No, this is not as TC, right? This is, yeah. See, about 0.24 wood per second. Yeah. So, on top of the factories giving you wood for your Ordnanza units, you can be rest assured that your TCs are going to be helping you a bit with that as well. The great thing about the Mexican Chinanca riders is they actually have multipliers against Hussars as well. So like all hand cavalry. So not only can they push on artillery and archers and skirms, but they can also push on hand cav. Big 2v1 attempts on this native socket. Yeah, you see how Mexico is like sort of positioned here and ready to go at a point over here while the Ottomans, you know, engage on this side. Yeah, and Ottomans appear to be pushing slightly over. Yeah. It looks like they wiped out... Was that with the... Yeah, the Ottomans have been pushing pretty well over here. Now they just have to wipe through these foundries and these native embassies and then can push on to the next layer area over there. Bombards. We haven't seen that. Haven't seen that all game, mostly. No. Pretty interesting. Is this army gonna like keep up with the bombard production or? Yeah, where's his factories? Does he have factories? So those work on coins, so yeah. Where did he get the bombards from? Did he get them like from Real to... No, he doesn't have Real Decree. Where did he get those bombards? Oh, he shipped them in. Looks like he shipped them in from that. Yeah. I was like, oh wow, Wyman's gonna change it up a bit and get the bombards now. And yeah. Yeah, I think probably bombards aren't a great idea in big numbers because you're just going to be dealing with millions and millions of stinging insects in terms of these Bashkar archers, you know. It's like dealing with the hornet's nest, a big bzzz, getting shot by little arrows doing a little damage to them each time. Well, how much damage is each arrow? It's like 20-ish damage, so it's... Yeah, it adds up, you know. One sting isn't going to kill you, but probably 100 of them will. Yeah, and considering they're one pop, they're dealing with lots and lots and lots of them. Really. Honestly, though, Ottomans are pretty strapped on the coin, and they do need the factories to be working on that because, you know, Abyss Gunners cost 105 coin. Even more expensive than Legacy when they were only 100 coin. So yeah, that's one way to burn through your coin stockpile and your money. So where's Don Stow at? So Don Stow is actually running low on food. Give me native. Give me native. I want native. Yeah, Don Stow is running low on food. And I'm surprised because isn't the Netherlands like the place where they have those big giant windmills and they have all the farmland and stuff? You know? I don't know. Like what? Netherlands without food is really, really surprising, honestly. Yeah, definitely. Definitely trying to see position-wise. See what time it is. So it's about 8 o'clock right now. Okay. Yeah, I'm just watching Don Stow's food here. Like he's not even able to field full armies anymore easily. His coin's down. Dutch without coin? Really? He's got all his banks, right? Yep, he's got all 9 banks. He's got the World Decree. So yeah, he's got all his like tulip speculation. And because he's low on food, he can't put the so it's interesting. We should see if Mexico is willing to like really press the Dutch really hard here. See what they can do. British seems to be the beacon of resources here overall. You know, like what's this? What? What is this? Is that must be lagged, right? He wouldn't let him do that, wouldn't he? It's when pikemen rush the culverins and wipe out a whole... Oh boy, that's... Really shameful. Yeah, yeah, that must have been lag or something. Usually don't see that be done. Oh, good. British have the Infinite Congreve rocket ship, and very nice. Very nice, yeah. These rockets, when you spam them up from the home city, they can really push the lines, you know. These things got a lot of power. The only risk you have, of course, is like culverins or mortars taking a snipe at them. And of course, getting charged by like a full-throttled cavalry assault. That could be a problem. The British can like keep like 4, 6, 8 rockets safe in the back. That might be what you need to like completely shred out Portugal's army and like put them on their knees at that point. But it does look like Portugal's catching up again because they've been doing this budgety trash unit thing for a while and it's been working. They have been able to recollect their coin and food for a substantial amount. British the British no longer have pounds of pounds anymore to afford Rangers, so they're gonna have to probably switch to, I don't know, like pikemen. Yeah, pikemen. That's all they get, pikemen. And they do have a native site too, right? Hoopy archers and pikemen. Yeah, I guess you're gonna have to do that. Don't have many options. Oh, Portuguese. We haven't seen that all game. Finally, Aaliyah has gone around to making some of those long-awaited Cossacks that he was talking about, too. Yeah, he said for a while they wanted to start making those. It's probably going to change up the battlefield a little bit here. Where's Aaliyah going with? He's got Cossacks, he's got Portuguese, he's got recruits. He's kind of making everything at this point. Cav archers and Tatars. So he's doing 3 different types of light cavalry. So he's got the Tatar loyalists. He's got the Tatar loyalists. He's got the Tatar archers. He's got the Mapuche light cav. He's going heavy on the light cav here. So I'm gonna even have he has infinite Nizams, but he doesn't have raid alert. Uh-oh. Luckily you got Portuguese though to deal with that. Stow. Warning. Yeah, they're gonna have to fortify that. It's gonna have to definitely be fortified. Using Humbarases now with their grenade launchers. Where's the infinite shipments from Ottomans here? They really should be adding in some Nizams at this point. They're pretty solid unit that again can change its stances around, right? It can be used. One stance is good against heavy infantry, another one's good against artillery. You know, you can swap it around. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Also, when are we going to see, like, some sort of maneuver made on this side? Like, ever. Yeah. I wonder when we're gonna see like a huge break in one of these lines here, and somebody's gonna go fully throttle into the other one. Should be interesting to see. Does seem like Ottomans are recovering their res though, which is good for them. Yeah, most definitely. We'll see here if they're done. Getting completely swarmed in that area by Cossacks. Going right for the throat of the Culverins. Guess Cossacks really did help Aliyah out in terms of Unicomp. Like the addition of rockets for sure. Just make sure you don't push in too far with the rockets, you know. Keep them as like a tool when they push in too deep on the Portuguese and Mexican side. The rockets are there to punish. Ooh, double teamed on that front, yeah. Blasting right through the ordnance units. LOL, look here. Look here, man. Look here, man. Oh yeah, and up here, like, what's this? What is going on up here, man? Look at this. This is kind of worrisome because actually, Mexico, if they could like push this a little bit further, get through some of these walls, they could actually get some Shinakos into here and start killing Russia's economy. Yeah, this is actually really something I wasn't looking at a whole lot. Like, they're really working hard on this. They really want to blast their way through that. Do they have any Moors left? Nah. Let's see what Mexico's plotting here. Idle. Yeah, I mean, like if Mexico can, struggling to reposition versus two armies. Good one, Aliyah, good one. Say, come on, man, I'm only playing two of these people here, and we're almost 20 steps away from losing everything if they shell through one either here or over here. And they get some Shinakos through here and some Insurgentes. Yeah, they could actually win the game or throw them for a loop. Yeah, this is actually kind of serious. Like, they really need to, you know, get working on that. Where's the villagers at? Yeah, so he's got some settlers over here. He's going to try to build a bit over here. They need to, British and John Stowe need to get the mortars and the culverins working on this. They need to stop this. Aliyah's thankfully going to get some mortars over here in preparation for that. Because Ottomans aren't pushing enough. Well, seems like they are trying to push, but yeah, they got some walls in the way. Yeah, Aliyah's going to try to go full attack mode on this. Because he knows this threatens everyone if this is allowed to persist over here. Oh, British villagers on the front line. Oh, Portuguese villagers. Okay. Yeah, Leah's really wary of Mexico coming over, positioning here. If Mexico's allowed to position here and, like, get, like, a foundry down and, like, maintain it and keep mortars pressing into this, yeah, they could, LOL. Yeah, Leah's just fed up with this whole position right here. Like, look, he's got Chinacos taking him out here. His unstoppable Strelitzes aren't feeling too unstoppable, and then you got the Ottomans going with attacks on this side, trying to creep in. And what's going on over here? You basically have Don Stowe and you have British still over here. Stowe, what res you and what res you need? Right now it seems like it's not as bad as he was before, but he's not perfect either. Yeah, definitely not. Yeah, Russia's having some problems here. Like, they can't even make the, yeah, they really can't make the, units that they were before in terms of the native warriors anymore, because their wood is basically, again, cooked out at this point. Yeah. I should probably start watching that Mexico to see what they do with their queuing. Like, are they going to try to get some mortars here or something? Like, they could sneak some mortars here and try to make a push onto... Actually, no. Don Stowe's doing a great job of, like, positioning his coves here. Yeah, see, they got some mortars right here, which could totally be a problem. Right. Yeah, well, this is definitely not making Aaliyah very happy. It's got, like, Mexico shelling over here, and then you got Ottomans who are going to start... who are shelling on both sides here. Got two players decapitating the walls of your final base here. That's got to be pretty pressuring for Aaliyah to deal with, all on his own, honestly. Nice, got another call coming in, 1 second.
Para la emboscada, comandante.
the delay. We will keep continuing with this match right now. Alright, let's keep going. Last we checked, we basically saw Mexico trying to make some sort of push in this sort of general direction and try to break through and bust through this side. All the while Ottomans are still pushing on their side that they've done the whole game. And Portugal is maintaining to the old front lines over here. Right. Seems like Mexico is out of dinero now, though, so any attempt that they had of getting mortars for this is going to have to be on hold for now. Right? They seem to be struggling a bit. Portugal's also kind of low in resources right now. No! Just send coin. No! Send coin. No! Don't say no. Say yes. I want money. I want to be rich. Not no. Say yes. Yes to the dress and yes to the money. Yeah. I can hold my position if I stay 1v1. Yeah, that's the whole problem is you got Mexico right outside of here. And now they're going to put a fort down on top of this. They can get this fort down. That alone is going to cause problems. Because you got this Juanito here, Jose Ignacio Iturbide, basically constructing a big Taco Bell over here. It shoots cannonballs out of it. It's going to cause some issues. Yeah, I mean, Alea's been holding off Ottomans the whole game, so if they can, like, keep it at that thing, basically it's up to Don Stowe and the Nunez over here to basically push on this side. Fort will begin finished, it looks like. Ottomans are doing a good enough job to, you know, prevent proper mortar positioning here. Oh, but the Moors are coming over here, though. Yeah, let's see if Don can maintain this line. Okay, Mexico's going to have to push here, though, to save this fort. What was that? Something below us. Oh! Oh, no, he's going to lose his fort now. Oh, yeah. Denied. Alright. Good move by Don Stowe to stop that, because any push in this area is just really bad. Really bad for them. I don't know why Mexico doesn't build a foundry up here or something, though. Whoop, 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 whoop. Look at the lack of resources on Russia right now. This is just really bad. Like, their resources are really burning out right now. Like, if Ottomans can, like, get a more favorable fight out of this, they might be able to really start steamrolling through this line here and start. Because think about it. Think about it for a second. If they can, like, start to make sieges at this, you just have to break through 2 walls and they're already in the enemy base at this point. Yeah. They're already in the Russian base. They don't have a lot of work to do to shell their way through there, honestly. No, not really. Not really. Not really at all. Hold. Hold. Yeah, this here could be a problem. See if they can keep that. Well, the fort's coming down again, but don't. Oh, whoop! Alea's gonna stop that though with this. Chinaco's. He's gonna have to stop, drop, and roll and get those mortars. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Stowe. What is Don doing? Is he, he's attacking the walls over here right now, it looks like. And how's his res doing, too? Is Don... Yeah, he's running pretty low on the food, honestly. Yeah, I see Leah struggling for food and stuff. I see Dutch doing the same. Oh, Dutch is doing better, but yeah, Leah's on Deathway's door for the foreseeable future at this point. Like, if you get Ottomans to, like, start making some better trades over here and start, like, killing it over here. How much res is Ottomans? So Ottomans can, like, be spamming a lot more at this point, which I'm kind of surprised that they're not. Against Cav Archers or something, like, really forcing a Leo over there. So if they could do that, that could be pretty obnoxious, yeah. Oh, but here comes mortars from Aliyah and Dawnstow, so they really don't want this, they really don't want this fort to go up that Mexico keeps trying to construct in literally the same spot every time. I think maybe move it a bit to the right or a little bit diagonally down here or something, just to, you know. I think the reason why he's building the fort here is he really wants it to be a pressure point here that's going to keep shooting the units on this side of the wall. It's going to help out Ottomans a bit. That's why he's so strict about being this close to the wall and structure. Stow hold right here. Right, yep, this position. It's got mortars there, which is good, so, I mean... But then Mexico's coming in with the Coves. The Coves are going to snipe the mortars. And now this area's in play again. What's he doing? He's... Oh, a Prishnik raid then. Yeah, that's another thing you can do here. Leah knows that. Leah knows if you run out of proms, Leah knows if you run into proms, there's not much you can do. One way you can fix it, just spam a bunch of the Oprishniks and go full torchy mode right over here. And light it up like a Christmas tree. Because that'll actually catch Ottomans off guard here, because they're doing Command Evid over here, not knowing what's... He's got some Jans here, though, so he's probably going to know about it a little bit in advance. But, yeah, you'll basically force Ottomans to pull back and start getting Cav Archers on that flank there. Yeah, basically. Oh, yep, but Ottomans, hopefully they react to that because they see this whole wall piece just got shelled off right there. Yep, technically, yeah, Ottomans just need to start showing through this. Yeah, and they could actually start to directly push in armies through here. Which would well, that would be fatal for the Aliyah team. Alright, so Prishniks are in. Now we see how this turns out. Is this going to be fatal? Is this going to be GG for these guys? Or are they going to defend this out? And they're going to... Alright, so he does know about what's going on. He is garrisoning shit around. Yep. Yeah, good. Alright. Gonna get some Minutemen right now. And then Ausinks. Wonderful. Awesome. We don't even know how it ends. Yeah. It's kind of unfortunate, you know. But it brings an interesting pregunta or question to the viewers. Who do you think actually won that game? Do you think Aliyah won with the Oprishnik? Because every time we see Aliyah just change up his gameplay like that, does he usually, he usually comes on top when he either switches to like P-tards or these bonkers strategies, usually. So, I think personally Aliyah probably won that one myself. But maybe the other mage team did, because if they could hold that line and they could push either in that direction that Mexico was, or come around the corner with the Ottomans that way, I guess eventually they would have basically pushed through those lines and beat them that way. So, yeah, I don't know about that one. That one was definitely a very tricky one, to say the least, for sure. Yeah, very complex, 100%. So, who wants another game? Curious. Like, do you think we should host another game? Do you think we're good for the night? What do the viewers want? Got about 3 viewers still here. Do you want to see another casted game like that? Got some other ones, or are you good? Ready for Milk and Betty Bye or something? I don't know. Yeah, how long have we been streaming for? About 3.5 hours. Pretty good. It's up to you. If you think you're good, we'll call it a night, and yeah. Alright, you know what? It's about time I eat something myself, so I think we're gonna call it quits for now. Enjoyed having you over here, though. It was pretty fun. Yeah, definitely. So I guess we'll see you on Thursday then. On Thursday, we're going to be doing the Wars of Liberty stream of Casted Games. And we got Casted Games, I believe, both from the previous patch to do and from the new patch to do. So a lot of gameplay to cover, right? A lot of new Argentina rework stuff, a lot of World War I stuff. Yeah, we're going to be covering a lot of things, basically, on Thursday. So if you like tanks, planes, and automobiles, and Argentine horses, and gauchos, then yeah, it's going to be a great time. So yeah, see you on Thursday. Going to be signing off now from the stream now, when I can finally consume some comida of my own. See you next time.